Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Enjoy the fanfic, and let's begin part 2. The two teams and Kiki was in the Hokage's office. So you're Kyuubi? He asked again. Yes, how many times do we have to explain it? Kiki said, annoyed. Okay, but how did you get out the seal? He asked. He died. Didn't you listen to the report? It was clearly stated that Naruto was killed by the three-tailed Jinchuriki, Kiki said. So why didn't you help him before he died? The third asked. What difference would it have made? I could have told him what was happening, but the seal was still intact, so I couldn't do more than that, Kiki said. Okay, I need you, Naruto, and Kurenai to come to the council meeting later today, the third said. Fine, whatever, I'm hungry, Kiki said. Come on, let's go home, Kurenai said. I'll be right back, you can make something to eat if you want, Kurenai said. She then walked upstairs. Yugo, Anko, you here? She asked, knocking on their doors. Anko opened her door. Yugo is on a mission, she said. Oh, we have to talk, she said. What, right now? You just got back. Can't it wait a few minutes? Anko asked, wrapping her arms around Kurenai and pulling her into her room. Kurenai kissed Anko. Sorry, but this is important. It's about Naru-chan, she said. Anko leaned her head back and looked Kurenai in the eyes. What happened? Is he okay? She asked. Yes, he died during the mission though. Kurenai then explained what happened. I see. Is she here now? Anko asked. Yes, she is downstairs with Naru-chan, but she can be hurt just like any other human can since she is not in her demon form, Kurenai said. Kasen? Naruto asked from the door. He was used to seeing Kurenai and Anko kiss. Yes, Naru-chan, Kurenai said. The chain smoker is here again, he said. Asuma, why? She asked. He said he was looking for you. I told him you wasn't interested, but he wouldn't listen to me, Naruto said. Anko laughed. He does that to every male that comes around us, don't he? She asked. Yay. Lucky for Yugo, she got to spend time with Hayate while he was on his mission, Kurenai said. Should I send him away? Naruto asked. No, I'll be down in a few, Kurenai said. 10 minutes later, Kurenai came downstairs with Anko. Hey Asuma, she said. Hey Kurenai, how was the mission? He asked. It was good, Kurenai answered. Asuma looked around. What are you doing? Anko asked. Looking for Naruto. He can be dangerous when it comes to you three, he replied. Don't worry, he is in the library, Kurenai said. Oh, okay, well, Kurenai want to go out for drinks later, he asked. Hey, stop hitting on my Kasen chain smoker, Naruto yelled out of nowhere, swinging his rod at Asuma's head. Asuma fell from being hit in the head. Anko and Kiki laughed. Kurenai sweat dropped. Naru-chan, stop doing that, she told him. Hey, I'm just doing my job. She smiled sweetly. Your job? Kurenai asked. Yup, it's my job to make sure you're safe of all perverts and heartbreakers, Naruto said. Kiki, get him out of here, Kurenai almost yelled. What, Kasen? I live here too, Naruto protested. Get out, Naru-chan, Kurenai yelled. Anko fell over laughing. But Kasen, we have to see those jerkasses, Naruto said. Damn it, I forgot about that, Kurenai said. What's wrong? Anko asked, trying to stop laughing. Well, we have to go see the council about Kiki, Kurenai said. Well, we better get going, Anko said. Asuma, I'll see you later, Kurenai said once they got out the house. I'm watching you, Naruto yelled. They walked into the council office and was surprised to see Tsunade and Shizune there. Why are you here? Naruto asked. I'm here because I'm the last of the Senji clan and Shizune is my apprentice and goes where I go, Tsunade said. Okay, let's get on with this. Everyone is aware of the mission. Team Kakashi and Team Kurenai was sent on, right? The third asked. Yes, I was informed of the details of the mission by Hinata, Hiyashi said. I was also informed of it by Kiba, Tsunade said. So was I, Fugaku said. Same, Shibi said. Well, that's good. He then went to tell the rest of the council of the mission. Why does that cause to have a council meeting over? Danzo asked. Well, you wasn't told the full report. Why they didn't tell you I don't know, the third said. What was missing? Asked Homura. I'm Kyuubi, Kiki said. Everyone looked at her. Excuse me, I think I heard wrong, Danzo said. You didn't hear wrong, you old. I said I'm Kyuubi, she said again. How is it possible you're out? I knew we should have killed him when we had the chance, yelled Sakura's Otusan. Kiki's eyes changed from midnight black to her demon eyes. Listen here, you little shit. I didn't break the seal and I didn't take over his body. In fact, he died and I brought him back to life, thus releasing the seal enough so I can get out. Now, do anyone have a problem with that? If so, speak now so I can deal with it, she said. I don't have a problem, but why did he have to die for your chakra to be released? Inoichi asked. He didn't, but he was fighting the three-tailed Jinchuriki and he killed him before Naruto had the chance to unlock my power, Kiki said. So what are you going to do? I mean, if most of your power is still sealed, you can't go that far away, can you? Tsunade asked, genuinely curious. As long as he don't use my chakra when I'm not around, he will be okay if I'm not around, but I will spend most of my time training Naru-kun and maybe Hina-chan, Kiki said. What can you train them in? Hiyashi asked. Well, I haven't been alive all these years for nothing. I'm not only the demon lady, but I'm also a master in the shinobi arts. Although most of my power is sealed, so I only have a cage's level, I'm still skilled enough to kill everyone in this village, she replied. Tsunade thought. What do you know about medics? She asked. Kiki looked at her. Well, what do you want to know? She asked. Well, I'm thinking since I'm the last of my clan, I could start it over, but not with me, she said. Tsunade-sama, what are you talking about? Shizune asked for everyone in the room. Well, I don't want any kids, but I also don't want my Kekkei Genkai to die out. One of my descendants might be able to get it, so I was thinking about a marrow transfusion, Tsunade said. Kiki nodded. Those are tricky business and only a very few should attempt that, and even fewer, mainly you, are able to successfully do it, she said. I know, that's why I haven't had it done, but it you being around longer than any of us can hope maybe you have the skills to do it, Tsunade said. I'll get back to you on it. I have to do some research and I haven't even attempted anything that has to do with medics in a few hundred years, Kiki said. Okay, you can find me in the hospital, Tsunade said. Okay. Kiki then turned to the Hokage. I'm going to be passing myself off as an old friend of the Uzumaki family from Whirlpool before our two families was killed off, she said. That's fine with me. He then addressed the rest of the room. No one is to mention anything talked about in this room to anyone. This is an S-ranked secret punishable by immediate death. The only ones able to talk about it is Naruto, Kiki, and his cousins, he said. Jiraiya was sneaking around the newly formed sound. He quit Akatsuki, he thought. He left the shadows that looked over Orochimaru and went further into the village, writing down everything he saw. He ran past a group of sound nins carrying a blonde girl who looked like she was beaten to death. He dropped down behind them and killed the sound nins and took the girl and the lightest sound nin and vanished. A few days after the council meeting, Tsunade was sitting in her office with a pot of coffee and the latest reports from the medic nins who were deployed out in different shinobi teams. She dropped the papers and turned and looked at the dark sky and sighed. Shizune, who was in the office with her, looked at the person she thought of as a cousin. What's wrong? She asked. Nothing. Tsunade replied. Don't give me that, I know you better. Now tell me what's wrong, Shizune said, crossing her arms. Tsunade sighed. He hasn't wrote once this month, she said. Is this about Jiraiya? You know he is probably looking in on a bunch of women in a bathhouse somewhere right now, Shizune said. I can only hope, but I can't believe that. You don't think something bad happened, Tsunade said. I don't know what to think, I don't know him like you do, Shizune said. That's the problem, we have always kept in touch. Up until now we wrote every month to let the other know that we was okay, Tsunade said. Shizune shook her head. Why do you two even try to stay away from each other? She asked. We tried to be together but it didn't work too well. We just agreed to stay friends, Tsunade said. I see. Shizune then looked out the window. You know, she stopped and concentrated out the window. Tsunade looked at her. I know what? She asked. What's that? Shizune asked, pointing. Tsunade looked out the window. White hair. Ridiculous outfit. Why does that seem familiar? She then looked harder. That pervert, she said. Shizune blinked. Jiraiya, how can you tell? She asked. Because I just know, Tsunade said and opened the window. 5 minutes later Jiraiya came through the window. Tsunade looked at him. What are you doing here? She asked. Shizune's sweat dropped. She was just depressed about not knowing where he was, she thought. Jiraiya looked at her. What, I thought you would be happy to see me, he said. Shut up, pervert. Why are you back? I didn't request for you to return, Tsunade said. I know I have a reason. I thought you might want to know Orochimaru is finished creating his village sound and well here. He threw down the first body. You killed one of his nins and brought me the corpse. How thoughtful, she said sarcastically. I know I'm always thoughtful, but anyways you are the best medic, maybe you can get information from him before he rots, Jiraiya said. I can, but I just had my office cleaned and you bring a dead body in it. You know how long it will take to get this smell out, Tsunade yelled while hitting him in the head. Hey stop, I have another gift for you, Jiraiya said. Tsunade halted her fist. What is it? She asked. Her. He pointed to the girl that somehow appeared next to Shizune. Shizune and Tsunade looked at her. She's still breathing. Shizune yelled, getting down on her knees to check her. Jiraiya, go next door and get a stretcher, Tsunade said. Fine. Jiraiya walked next door. 2 days later, Kiki walked into Tsunade's office. What was so important that you ended my day of pranks with Naruto-kun and Hina-chan? She asked. Jiraiya brought me 2 bodies back, one a dead sound nin, the other a girl, Tsunade said. What's that have to do with me? Kiki asked. The dead shinobi has the curse seal and I was wondering if you can help me study it since I'm not much of a seal master, Tsunade said. Kiki thought. Sure, maybe we can then get that seal off Anko-chan, she said. Hopefully. Also the girl has yet to wake up but she is in perfect health. Any idea why? Tsunade said. Kiki shrugged. My medical knowledge is about the same level as yours. Maybe if that Neko was here she could figure it out, she said. I see. Maybe Inoichi will look into her mind, Tsunade said, walking into the room with the dead sound nin. Where is Jiraiya? Kiki asked. Gone. He said he needed to get back to tracking Orochimaru since right now he is the biggest threat, Tsunade said. Kiki had just finished training the 4 genin teams. Well, I'm impressed, although Naruto-kun kept bugging me to train the rest of you. Never have I seen this many genins from one village with so much potential, she said. I'm going to be so kick at the upcoming Chunin exams, Naruto said. Hey Ino, Choji said. Yes, she replied. Will you have lunch with me? He asked. She blinked. It's past lunch, she replied. He looked at the ground. Well, will you He stopped, thinking how to ask. Sure, I'll go on a date with you, she said. Everyone watched as the 2 walked off. Hana came up to them. Where are those 2 going? She asked. A date? Tenten replied. Oh, that's sweet. Kiba-kasan wants you home now, she said. Well, I can use more training with my ring and taijutsu, Sakura said. Come on, let's spar, Hinata said, pulling her elbow knives off her hips. The third sat down looking at Tsunade, Shizune, and another blonde. Okay, who is this? He asked. Well, her name is Kin and she was rescued from sound before Orochimaru was able to mark her, Tsunade said. Rescued by who? The third asked. Jiraiya, he brought her to me, also a dead sound nin. I have been studying him for a few days now, Tsunade said. Did you find anything yet? The third asked. Besides her being kidnapped from her home and an almost beaten to death, nope, Tsunade said. The third looked at Kin. So any idea why you was kidnapped? He asked. No, but my family was killed and I have nowhere to go, she replied. I see. How old are you? He asked. 11 and I was in my village's academy, Kin replied. So do you want to stay here and join the academy? The third asked. Do I have a choice? Kin asked. Don't worry Kin, I'll personally train you and see that you're treated fairly, Tsunade said. Team Guy, Team Kakashi, Team Kurenai, and Team Asuma was standing in the Hokage's office with other Junins and their genin teams. So are any of your team ready for the exams? The third asked. Team Guy is ready for the exams, Guy said. So is Team Kurenai, she said. My team is also, Kakashi said. Yay, they are ready, Asuma said. Hold on, they might be ahead of the class, but 3 of those teams haven't even been a team for a full 6 months yet, Iruka said. What are you saying? Kakashi asked. I'm saying that they are not ready for these exams, he said. I would have to disagree. I personally know how well Naruto was trained and he is ready for these exams. In fact, I guarantee that he can beat you without even breaking a sweat, Kurenai said. I can honestly tell you that the only person on these teams who might not be ready is Sakura, and that's because she hasn't been training as long as the rest, Asuma said. Either way, Iruka, they are not your students anymore, they are our soldiers and we are their commanders and we know they are ready, so your input is not needed, Kakashi said. This is a mistake, Iruka said. Are you doubting our training? You a Chunin doubting the training methods of a Junin? Kakashi asked. Enough, Iruka, as much as we appreciate your input, you're not in control of these genins, they're Junin senseis and they think they are ready, so they will be in the exams next month in Suna, the third said. A month later, Shizune, Anko, Yugo, Itachi, Makoto, Hiashi, and the genin teams was leaving Konoha for Suna. Why are all you coming? Questioned Naruto. Because we are security, Hiashi said. We need this much security, Naruto asked. Well, seeing as the exams is in another village, we are just being cautious, Anko said. A few days later they arrived in Suna. The guard led them to their hotel. Okay, I'm taking my team out for a while, Kakashi said. Tsunade and Kiki was sitting in her office. Who would have known that this seal would have been this difficult to figure out, Tsunade said. Truly one of the worst things I have ever seen, but at least we found out how to remove it, Kiki said. Yes, that's all that matter, Tsunade said. There was a knock on the door. Tsunade-sama, I finished the scroll you gave me, Kin said. Let me see, Tsunade said. Kin brought her the scroll. Impressive, you have potential to be a medic if you want to fully train you in it, Tsunade said. Kin thought about it. Okay, she finally said. Kiki looked at her. Does she have a set taijutsu form? She asked. Not yet, I was going to teach her basic medic taijutsu and let her Junin sensei teach her another form, Tsunade said. I'll teach her, Kiki said. The genins from all the shinobi villages was standing in front of the Suna gate. Okay, this exam is only one part. You will have to survive in Suna's desert for 1 month without help from any outside source. During this month you must fend off any and all enemies. If you can do this, you will prove to have what it takes to be Chunin, and we will send recommendations back to each of your villages, he said. What if we are unable to complete the month? Will we be able to come back to the village? Naruto asked. Yes, if for any reason you need to come back, your team will automatically fail, the Junin said. What about food? Choji asked. There are lizards and other small animals that live in the desert that you can eat, he said. And water? Hinata asked. Well, that's one of the obstacles you have to get around. Now you have 30 minutes to get everything ready, the Junin said. Kiki was chasing Kin around the training ground that they was training in. She put light weights on her to increase her speed and did constant speed and agility training. Kin progressed slowly but steadily. She took medics easier than speed training, but ninjutsu's better than she took medics. Kin was barely able to dodge the kunais that Kiki was throwing at her as she chased her and was breathing hard. Hey, let's take a break, Kiki said. Okay. Kin then fall back on the ground trying to catch her breath. Why is this so hard? She asked. Don't know, some people learn certain things faster than others, Kiki said. Kin looked at her. Can you teach me to use a weapon? She asked. Sure, what do you have in mind? Kiki asked. Something for long range, Kin said. Tayuya stood in front of Orochimaru breathing hard. Is this the best you have to offer me? If so, you're useless, he said. What? No, I can do better, just give me a chance, she yelled. Fine, one last chance. You have a year to change my opinion on you, he said. Thank you. Tayuya then ran off to do some intense training. Kabuto came up. Why are you giving her so many chances? He asked. Because she is the only person I have found besides Anko who is strong enough to survive the curse seal of that level, Orochimaru said. What about Kimimaro? Kabuto asked. Orochimaru thought. He did survive, didn't he? But his body, if failing him, he will be dead in a few years, he said. I see, so you're forcing her to become strong enough for you to train her the way you want, Kabuto asked. Yes, that, and she still don't follow all my orders, Orochimaru said. Anko didn't either, Kabuto said. Kabuto, if you want to continue to live, then don't talk about her around me, Orochimaru said, then walked away. Tayuya ran as fast as she could to the nearest shinobi store. I need weights and weapons, she said. Whoa, slow down. Now what kind of weights you need? The store owner asked. Something that can get me to Junin level speed in less than a year, she replied. I see those are going to run you a few $1,000s, he told her. Orochimaru sent me to get them, Tayuya said. Oh, Orochimaru sent you, then they are on the house. What else did you need? He asked. Chakra paper. A unique weapon. Kunais, shurikens, jutsu scrolls, and a new outfit, she said. Okay. He went into the back and came out with everything she wanted. Now for the outfit I need to take measurements, he said. A month later the Genin teams was back from the exams and the council was having a meeting. Based on this report from Tsunade they all should be Chunins, the third said. We should allow all but Demon Gaki to become a Chunin. Having him a shinobi is already a danger, Homura said. If you want to hold him back then both Sakura and Sasuke will have to be held back also, Hiyashi said. Why would that be? Fugaku asked. Because the exam was a team-based exam and the fact that he is one of the strongest genins would be reason enough, Sum said. That don't matter. Having him raise in the ranks is a danger to our image, Kaharu said. Kumo has both of their Jinchuriki rank Junin. Suna just gave their Jinchuriki the Chunin rank. In fact the only village with a Jinchuriki that hasn't raised their rank is us, Shikaku said. That don't matter, it will make us look weak. We should have him join my division and have him as a weapon, Danzo said. The civilian and elders nodded. What is making us look weak is you trying to prevent him from raising in the ranks with his teammates when it's obvious that he deserves the rank, Hiyashi said. Enough. All the genins will be promoted to Chunin, the third said. Tayuya have been doing her intense training for almost a year now and it showed. She was easily one of the strongest in sound. Then she thought, why am I still here? All he wants is to use me, she thought. As she continued her training, damn it, this is too complicated. How did that Anko girl get away? She asked herself quietly. She dropped her whip which as soon as it left her hands turned back into a rose and sat down next to it to think. Orochimaru walked up. Tayuya, I'm impressed with your progress, so impressed in fact that I want you to lead one of my cells when I attack Konoha in 4 months, he said. She looked up at him. Fine, she said. Good, and if you impress me on the battlefield I will make you one of my personal guards, he said. What a pleasure, Tayuya said. Tsunade stood in front of Kin. You progressed well over the last year. By the time you get on your genin team you should be at least the third strongest of all the genins, she said. Kin nodded. I owe it to you and Kiki, she said. Tsunade looked her over. Go on, have some fun, she said. Okay, bye. Kin then walked out the hospital and saw Hinata. Hey, she yelled. Hinata turned around and saw Kin and smiled. Hello Kin, how is training? She asked. Tsunade-sama said I will be the third strongest genin when I get put on a team, Kin replied. That's great, Hinata said. So what you doing? I was given the day off, Kin said. Me to want to walk together, Hinata asked. Sure. The two walked on. Kabuto, is everything ready? Orochimaru asked. Yes, but Tayuya have became more distant since she finished her personal training 3 months ago, Kabuto said. Don't worry, after we destroy Konoha she will become my new body, Orochimaru said. She is posted at the south entrance like you wanted, Kabuto said. Good, have the summoners start the summoning process. I'm going ahead to kill Sensei, Orochimaru said and vanished. Tsunade was standing in front of the 4 Chunin teams and Kin's genin team with the 5 Junin senseis behind her. She looked around. Something bad is happening, she said. What do you mean, Tsunade-sama? Kin asked. Stop calling me that, it's just Tsunade now, I'm no longer your sensei, and I'm not sure but I have a bad feeling, Tsunade said. The Hokage looked out his window and saw Orochimaru standing at the main entrance. Get the Anbu, he said and vanished. Orochimaru, why are you here? He asked. Sensei, you mean you're not happy to see me? Orochimaru asked. What do you want? Leave now or you will be killed, the third said. Sarutobi, you can't kill me, we all know that, Orochimaru said. The third threw off his robes and hat and was in his Junin uniform. Prepare to die, he said. An Anbu came to Tsunade. Orochimaru is in the village fighting the Hokage-sama now, he said then vanished. Okay, everyone follow me, Tsunade said and led them to where the Hokage and Orochimaru was. They arrived at the spot and saw an Anbu group trying to break down a barrier that was surrounding the third and Orochimaru. There is nothing we can do until the barrier is taken down, Tsunade said. Inside the barrier the third and Orochimaru was fighting using high-speed taijutsu. Orochimaru jumped back and pulled his grass cutter out his mouth. The third summoned King Enma. You should have killed him when you had the chance, the monkey said and turned into a bow staff. They exchanged strikes. Sensei, you have gotten slow, Orochimaru said. I'm still fast enough to kill you, Orochimaru, the third said. Is that what you think? He went through some hand signs, Edo Tensei and 5 coffins came out of the ground. The third looked at them and quickly ran to destroy it. He was able to destroy 3 of them, but the one with the number 4 still was summoned. Orochimaru looked at the 3 destroyed coffins. You may have destroyed the first, second, and Tsukumo, but I still have the 4th, the most powerful of them, he said. Damn you, Orochimaru, why can't you let them rest in peace? The third cursed. Everyone outside the barrier looked on, surprised at the summons. The Yondaime looked around. Sarutobi, you're still working? He asked. Sadly, yes, the third replied. Well, how is my son? The Yondaime asked. Look for yourself, the third said, pointing to Naruto. The Yondaime looked over at him. He looks just like I did at that age, he said. And acts just like Kushina did, the third said. Who have been taking care of him? The Yondaime asked. Kurenai adopted him as her son. She takes care of him with Anko and Yugo. He sees all 3 as a cousin, the third replied. This is all great and all, but I need you to destroy this village, Orochimaru said, about to put a kunai into the Yondaime. To Orochimaru's surprise, the King Enma bow staff attacked and knocked the kunai out of his hand. I can't allow you to do that, it said. Damn you, Orochimaru cursed, looking around for his kunai. The Yondaime jumped away from Orochimaru. As long as you're inside this barrier you can never kill him, and since he summoned me I can't fight him for you, he said to the third. I know what I need to do. He then started to go through some hand signs. No, don't do that jutsu, I destroyed it for a reason. How the hell did you get it? The Yondaime yelled at him. I memorized it when you did it for Kyuubi, the third said. He then jumped and kicked Orochimaru and grabbed him. Time to die, he said. Corpse spirit ceiling, he yelled. What, get off me, you old fool, Orochimaru yelled. Outside the gate everyone was watching. What is he doing? Naruto asked. Trying to seal Orochimaru inside the death god's stomach, Tsunade said. Will it work? Hinata asked. I don't think so. Sensei is too old and don't have the stamina to completely remove Orochimaru's soul, Tsunade said. I can't completely remove your soul, Orochimaru, but I will take your ability to use jutsus, and the death god cut off his arms and sealed it within himself along with the third. The Yondaime looked down at Hiruzen's dead body. Damn it, why couldn't I help? He yelled. Remove this barrier, Orochimaru yelled. Once the barrier was removed, Orochimaru jumped out. Kabuto, start the attack, he yelled and jumped away. The Yondaime started to slowly fade away. He looked around and saw everyone looking at him and the third. He looked at Naruto, then Kurenai, Anko and Yugo, and walked over to them. He got down on one knee and took off his cloak and put it around Naruto. No matter what you do, I will always be proud of you, son. He then hugged Naruto. He kissed Naruto on the top of the head and looked at Kurenai. Thank you for raising my son. Kushina would be excited to know that her student took her son in, he said. He then went through some hand signs. Scroll summoning, he said, and a giant scroll puffed into his hand. He handed it to Naruto. This is everything that belonged to me and your cousin. He kissed Naruto on the head again and was gone. Everyone just looked at it happen. Naruto was the most shocked and had tears in his eyes. Otusan, he whispered. Then there was a crash as the east wall was taken down by a 3-headed snake. Tsunade looked around. Shit, she said. Tsunade calmed herself. Okay, we have no time to lose. Kurenai, Kakashi, Guy, and Asuma, take your teams to the west gate and defend it. Anko, I need that snake gone now. Yugo, you're in charge of the Anbu right now, send them out where the most help is needed. Itachi, take the Uchihas to the gate closest to your compound. Hiashi, take the Hyugas to the gate closest to yours. Hayate, take a group of Junins to the south gate. Shizune, get all medics and have them on standby, and all Genin teams get the civilians to the safe area now, get moving. She yelled out orders. Kakashi led the team of Chunins to the west gate at a fast pace. Once they got there, okay Hinata, Neji, I need to know how many we are dealing with, he said. Byakugan, they both said. They looked around. Only 200 at best, they said. Okay, now split off into groups of 2 inches. They quickly did as told. Naruto and Sasuke, Hinata and Tenten, Sakura and Ino, Neji and Lee, Choji and Shikamaru. Good, now stay with your partner and let's kick some, Kakashi said. They ran through the gate with weapons at the ready. Sakura spent her ring around her and Ino's head, then brought it down with all her strength, bringing up debris. Ino used this to her advantage and swung her katana, making it come out into whip form, slicing unsuspecting enemies. Sakura then flipped over Ino and cleared a space for them to work by holding her ring at arm's length and spinning really fast. She stopped. Okay Ino, let's show these asses what a kunoichi can do, Sakura said. You're on, Ino said with a smirk. An hour later they killed all the sound shinobi that was at this gate. After they was done, Kurenai, who had been back making sure no one got past, along with Asuma, Kakashi, and Guy, went to heal the injuries the Chunins got. Good, they all are healed now. We need to find out if anyone need help, Kurenai said. An Anbu came up. The east gate is being overran. Anko sent me to find her help, the Anbu said. Right, we are on it. Get someone to cover this gate, Kakashi said, and they all took off. Naruto, get that snake out of here. Anko can't with all these sound nins attacking her, Kurenai said. Summoning no jutsu, Naruto yelled, pushing some of Kiki's chakra into it. Kiki was walking back after her mission and felt the increase in her chakra. What the hell, she said, and started to run back. Gamabunta puffed into Konoha and saw what was happening. Gaki, what is going on? He asked Naruto, who was on his head while he jumped to stop the snake's advance. Boss, we are being attacked by sound. Orochimaru already killed the third somehow. Also, I got to see my Otusan. He gave me his cloak and a scroll, Naruto answered. That's good and all, but now hang on. Gamabunta then jumped and stuck his dagger into the snake, destroying it. Thanks boss, that snake halted our recovery, Naruto said. Bunta looked around. Well, it doesn't look like you need me anymore. He then puffed away when Naruto jumped down. Good job Naruto, now get to work, Anko yelled. Tsunade, even being a medic, jumped right into the middle of the battle, putting Shizune in charge of the medic squad. She single-handedly was taking on the entire North Gate army. She punched a creator into the ground and threw it at the oncoming shinobis. And charged right after it, taking on anyone who dared to challenge her. Kiki had ran up to the North Gate and saw Tsunade throwing all shinobis out of her way, killing them in the process. Su-chan, what's going on? She said. We are being invaded. Sensei was killed by Orochimaru, Tsunade said, not stopping her attack. Kiki quickly got into the mix of battle, fighting alongside Tsunade. Jiraiya finally got to within seeing distance of Konoha and saw smoke coming from the village. Come on, let me be on time, he said, increasing his speed. Kin and the rest of the genins finally got all the civilians into the safe area and went to her sensei. What do we do now? She asked. Now we have to protect them and make sure no one gets inside, he said. Danzo was sitting in the council chamber with Homura and Kaharu. Damn it, he betrayed us, Danzo said. Was this not to be expected? He also betrayed Tobi, Homura said. No worries, we still have Tobi backing us for our future plans. We just have to make Orochimaru know betrayal is not accepted, Kaharu said. Tayuya watched as most of her group was killed. She was giving Hayate a hard time, but she knew if this went on she would be killed. She looked around. Where is he? She asked. If you're talking about Orochimaru, he left, Kabuto said. What? He wanted to destroy this village then run when things don't go his way, she yelled. Sacrifices are necessary, Kabuto said. I'm no damn sacrifice. The only reason I'm here is because he claimed to know who killed my parents, Tayuya yelled. You two want to settle this after our fight? Hayate asked. I'm done. You can take me as a prisoner. I'm tired of being betrayed by those who claim they are trustworthy, Tayuya said, and turned her whip back into a rose and walked away. What the hell, Tayuya? Lord Orochimaru won't be happy about you giving up, Kabuto yelled. Hell if I care what that dipshit care about. I rather take my chances with Konoha and their interrogation than work for someone who runs when things get hard, Tayuya said. Damn it, retreat, Kabuto yelled. Anko watched as enemies started to run. Don't let them get away, she yelled. Hinata jumped in front of them. Gentle step, twin lion fist, she yelled, and sped off towards the closest retreating enemy and hit him in the back. Hana jumped in right behind her, bow in hand, firing off fire chakra arrows. Eventually the enemies was either dead or too far away to chase, and everyone gathered around where Tsunade was. Today we rest. Tomorrow we fix the village, then next week we have a funeral for every Konoha nin that died, she said. The elders walked up. We need to appoint a new Hokage. I nominate myself, Danzo said. I second that nomination, Homura said. I back him for Hokage, Fugaku said. Does anyone challenge for the position? Koharu asked. I nominate Tsunade of the Senins, Naruto yelled stepping behind her. I second that nomination, Kurenai said stepping behind Tsunade with Yugo, Anko, Kakashi, and Hayate along with his prisoner Tayuya. He put chakra cuffs on. Well, we will have a vote, Danzo said. The Anbu back Tsunade, Yugo said. The Junins back Tsunade, Itachi said, surprising everyone. The Hyuga clan back Tsunade, Hiyashi said. So does the Nara clan, Shikaku. The Yamanaka, Inazuka, Akamichi, and Aburame clan heads walked behind Tsunade. Jiraiya walked up. I also back Tsunade for the Godime Hokage, he said. Looks like you lost, Hinata said. Fine, Danzo said. Tsunade smiled. Now everyone go home and get some rest. Anbu go release the genins and civilians from the safe area. Tomorrow we will begin rebuilding Konoha, she said. Tsunade was sitting in the office already hating her new job. She looked at all the papers that was on the desk. They expect me to do all this within the next 2 hours, she thought. She pulled the first piece off the stack. Request for a larger building to expand my restaurant. Yuki, owner of the ramen stand. Tsunade signed the request knowing that it will be good for the village that their newest upcoming restaurant expand quickly. She looked back at the papers and sighed. How did Sensei do this, she thought. As she looked at the papers, something hit her. I'm thinking like the wrong person. How would Naruto finish this work? She thought. She then smiled. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. 3 Tsunades popped into the room. You know what to do, and make sure to read every piece of paper fully before you deny or approve it. And anything written by the council, put it in a separate box so that I can go over them when I can devote my full attention to them. And anything that looks suspicious, put it in another pile so that Shizune can go over them, the original Tsunade said. She then turned to the stack of missions that have been sent to the village. I'm going to get you for this, Naruto. Even if you did it with the best intentions, you're going to pay, she thought. She picked up the first paper and smiled. Bring me Naruto, Hinata, and Kiki, she said to one of the Anbu guards. A few minutes the three was in the office. You wanted a Su-chan? Naruto asked. Tsunade smiled widely. Yes, now have a seat, she said. The three looked at her suspicious because of her smile and sat down. There is a mission request in from T country. I don't expect it will be hard, but it will have a lengthy time for this type of mission, she said, still smiling. How long? Hinata asked. Anywhere from a few months to a few years, Tsunade said. Years? Naruto and Hinata yelled at the same time. Yup, it could last up to 10 years, although I don't think it will. Just in case you leave at the end of the month to let everyone know. Also, I want a progress report on everything twice a month. If you miss a report for a full month, I will assume the worst and send hunters to recover your body, dead or alive, and don't make me do that if you're still alive because you want like the consequences, and you can send the report through Gamakichi, but it needs to be written, Tsunade said. I'll make sure that you receive the report, Kiki said. Oh, Kiki, you're the leader of this mission, and you're responsible for their training, which I expect them continue no matter the situation in T country, Tsunade said. I will. Anything specific you want them to learn? Kiki asked. Seals for Naruto. Medic for Hinata. Other than that, it's up to you, Tsunade said. Okay. Well, see you the day we leave, Kiki said and dragged the two still shocked Shunins out. Tsunade chuckled evilly when they left, which Shizune caught when she walked in. What did you do? She asked. I just sent Naruto and Hinata to T country for a few months to a few years, Tsunade said. Why? Shizune asked. Well, it is an actual mission, but the reason I sent them was because of their nominating me for the Hokage position. This is my first day and the desk was full this morning with problems. Also, Kiki is the leader of this mission, Tsunade said. Oh, you think it will last for a few years? Shizune asked. Honestly, I hope it only lasts a few months, but with these type of things we can never tell. It all depends on how close T is to setting its own government up, Tsunade said. I see. Shizune sat on the couch. So how is the work coming? She asked. As you see, I had to get some help. Tsunade motioned to her clones. Also, you're going to have to double check everything before I send them off to get processed to make sure I didn't make the usual mistake I make with paperwork, and I want you to check the stuff that I think is suspicious while I check the stuff sent in by the council, she finished. Shizune nodded, already expecting this. I figured you would want me to do that. That's why I moved my office right next door. If you have Yamato create a door for us, we will have direct access to each other, she said. I'll get him to do that, Tsunade said. A month later, Kiki, Naruto, and Hinata was standing at the gate with all their friends. Kurenai, Anko, and Yugo didn't want to let Naruto go at first but knew there was nothing they could do to prevent him from doing his job, so instead they made him promise to write them as much as possible. Hanabi was having similar problems with Hinata, not wanting her to go. Anko had to bribe Hanabi with letting her sign the snake contract when she became a genin. After 10 days of travel they arrived in Tea Country. They was in front of the client, who was the rightful heir to the head of the country, but he was being driven out of the position by his uncle who wanted to turn the country into a gold mine. It seemed to Naruto that the solution was simple, killing the uncle would end all protests, but Hinata informed him that politics wasn't the same as being a shinobi and it took time for these things to be settled. Naruto's face showed his frustration, and both Kiki and Hinata knew why he was frustrated but promised to make everything simple and fun for him. After they had listened to the request of their employer and how he wanted things to go by the book instead of using the ninja he hired to kill his opponents, which frustrated Naruto even more, they left telling Michi that he would have the support of Konoha behind him. They was walking out the building. Man, this political stuff is confusing, he said. I know. I never understand why humans bother with it, Kiki said. Because unlike demons or kitsunes, human females can only produce so many times a year. And if we killed each other to get the top spot in politics, we would kill off the race faster than we can produce, Hinata explained. So what do we do now? Naruto asked. We need a place to live, and a job so we can support ourselves. The money Tsunade gave us will only last a month, Kiki said. I'm going to apply at the hospital, Hinata said. What can I do? I'm not that good at anything but being a shinobi, Naruto said. Why not apply at the shinobi school and teach something there, Kiki suggested. Good idea, Naruto said and ran off towards the academy. Naruto went into the academy and to the main office. Excuse me, he said. Sorry young man, but we are busy at the moment, can you wait a minute, the busy principal said. Yes ma'am, I'll just sit here until you can get to me, he said. Okay, she said running out of the office. 30 minutes later she came back and tiredly sat down and looked at Naruto. Sorry, my name is Sudaru, how can I help you? She asked. Well, I am new here, and well, I noticed the sign outside. He was cut off. So you want to apply for a position? Sudaru guessed. Yes, he said. She looked at him. What skills do you have that will help our academy? She asked. Well, I did defeat a group of 10 Junins on my way here, Naruto told her. I see, impressive. I'll let you know if I have a position. You should get a response in 2 days, she said. Okay, thank you, Naruto said and left. Kiki and Hinata met up with Naruto. Come on, I got us an apartment. It's only 2 bedrooms though, so me and Hina will share a room, Kiki said. Okay. The principal said I should get a reply from her in 2 days, Naruto told them. I got a job, right now. Since this is the first time I worked in a hospital, I'm only a nurse, but the head of the hospital said that I can move up fast if I have the skills for a new position, Hinata said. Great. I got a construction job, Kiki said. A month later the three was settled into their new home. Each had started their job, although Naruto had the hardest time because he was 13 teaching kids who was well 13 in the arts of a shinobi, so it's safe to say most of the time he had yell at the kids for not listening. It wasn't that the kids didn't like him, just they didn't respect him enough to really pay attention to him. So while Naruto sat in the teacher's lounge eating the lunch Hinata made him, there was a scream outside. All the teachers ran to see what it was and saw 5 men holding a student with a kunai to her neck. What's going on? Sudaru yelled. We need this girl for ransom, so no one move and she won't be hurt, the man said. Let her go. You can take me instead, Naruto tried. Yay, right. No one even knows you, the man said. So why do you need her? Naruto tried to go another way. She is the daughter of Michi. We are going to use her to force him to run his campaign the way we want it to be ran and then use him to give control of this country to Orochimaru-sama, he said. Is Orochi Tem here? Naruto asked. What, he don't have time to deal with things like this, that's why he are here, the man said. That's good to know. Naruto bit his thumb and vanished. He hit the man who was holding the girl with his now summoned rod. The man dropped the girl, which Naruto caught and was back by the principal. He sat her down and ran at the 5 men. Kage Bushin no Jutsu, he called out, summoning 4 clones. They each charged a Rasengan and hit the men in the back. Once the 5 men fell unconscious, Naruto summoned another clone. Take them to Hina, she will know what to do, he said. Once they was gone, the principal clapped for him, which everyone else soon joined in. Nice job, Naruto. I think you will be a great teacher here, she said. Naruto smiled and scratched the back of his head. Kasen taught me to always help those in need, he said. Hinata walked into their apartment and sat on the couch. I was told what happened. You did good, Naru-kun, she said. Any one of us would have done the same thing, Naruto said. I think Kiki would have killed them, Hinata said. Hey, can we have ramen for dinner? Naruto begged. Hinata shook her head. Sure, but we are not having it every day. Once a week is enough, she said. What, ramen is the best food ever? How can I only have it one day a week? Naruto complained. I agree, we will only have ramen once a week, and you can have some every holiday, Kiki said, coming out of the kitchen. Don't you have work to grade or something? Hinata asked Naruto. I have a clone doing that stuff, Naruto said. Well, we had a month to get settled. Now it's time to start training. Come on. I found one of the few training grounds in this country, and lucky us it's close, Kiki said, walking out the apartment, leaving no room for a discussion. Naruto and Hinata just followed, knowing nothing they said could change her mind on training. The 3 walked into a small training area. Okay, now this training will be intense, but only last for 3 hours each and every day, except holidays and Sundays, which will be the day you 2 use to heal from the week's training, Kiki said. Why do I have a feeling that this will be worse than those years I train with Kasen? Naruto said. Because it will. I'm a demon. A damn powerful demon. I don't take no shit while training and I expect perfection, Kiki said. Well, what do we do first? Hinata asked, wanting to get this over with. First thing I'm training you in is speed, then strength. I'm going to teach you to use your chakra to enhance your strength so that you won't have to get all bulky, Kiki said. This don't involve boulders, do it? Naruto asked. No, just a simple genjutsu that all kitsune demons go through, Kiki said, smiling. Kiki gathered chakra to her eyes. Demonic jutsu. Kitsune training, she said. The world around the 2 13-year-olds went dark for a few seconds as the genjutsu took effect. Hinata activated her Byakugan. Don't bother, Hina, you can't see through it, Kiki told her. The area started to become light again. The entire training area was covered with traps, mines, explosive tags, mountains, kitsunes of all different sizes and colors. Welcome to the kitsune training area. I created this ages ago to help train other kitsunes in the art of stealth and speed, which kitsunes are known for. You are the first humans to ever go through this training, Kiki said. This will increase our speed and strength? Naruto asked. No, only your speed. I'm going to do strength in 90 minutes, Kiki said. How do we do this? Hinata asked. Well, this genjutsu automatically adjusts to everyone in it so that it adds weight to their body to increase their speed. All you have to do is run the course for 90 minutes, at which time I will remove the genjutsu, Kiki told them. That is easy, Naruto said. Oh, one more thing. Those kitsunes you see, they will be attacking you and you will feel every hit, so don't slow down because they won't. Now you better get going, they are coming, Kiki told them. The 2 started to run from the kitsunes while Kiki took out a scroll and added to what she already written for Tsunade. 90 minutes later, Kiki ended the jutsu and the 2 tired teens fell to their knees. Get up, time got strength training, she told them. How does this work? Naruto asked tiredly. All you need is a genjutsu on your body that enhances strength instead of speed, she told them, and put a genjutsu on the 2. Now time for sparring, she told the 2. Tsunade was sitting in her office when Gamakichi popped into the room. Do you have my scroll? She asked the toad. Yup, but you're not getting it until you pay the toll for it, Gamakichi said. Shizune, bring me a bag of chips, she told her assistant in the next room. Shizune came in with a bag of chips. If you're hungry, you should eat food and not snacks, she said. It's not for me, it's for Kichi. You know how those toads get about delivering messages, Tsunade said. Oh, well, here, Kichi, Shizune said. Kichi swapped the scroll for the chips and popped away. We need to get a drawer just for him to have his chips in, Shizune said. Tsunade nodded while she opened the scroll. Well, it looks like Kiki started training them and is not taking it easy. She is putting them through the Kitsune Genjutsu to increase their speed, she told Shizune. I miss them already, Shizune said. I do too, and from this letter they might be there for a while. Michi has little support with his opponent scaring everyone from voting for him, Tsunade said. Will you really keep them there for the entire 10 years? Shizune asked. What, no way. At most I will let them stay for a few years and if nothing changes I'll bring them back, Tsunade said. How many years until you decide? Shizune asked. I think 2 years is long enough for some progress to be shown that things are turning around and it's worth keeping them there, Tsunade said. I agree, Shizune said. Now on to our mess. Anything interesting in your sack of papers? Tsunade asked. Well, there was a request by an unnamed source to enter someone named Sai into the shinobi force, more specifically put on Team 7 inches, Shizune said. And what did you find out about him? Tsunade asked. Besides the fact that he has absolutely no idea what an emotion is, Danzo trained him and was the reason his only friend died, Shizune said. You think it's worth it? Tsunade asked. If we can gain Tayuya's trust for her to become a Junin, then I think we can win him over from Danzo, if we interacted with the right people, Shizune said. So are we putting him on Team 7, until Naruto returns, that is? Tsunade asked. I think we should. They do need an extra member, Shizune said. Kiba was walking through the village when he spotted Kin and ran up to her. Hey Kin, how is everything? He asked. Good. How is things with you? She asked. Things are okay, but we can't go on missions because we don't have another teammate yet, Kiba said. Poor Kiba. Kin teased. I'm serious. All Sensei has been doing is training me and Shino into the ground. I think she is taking her frustration of missing Naruto out on us, Kiba said. That don't sound like Kurenai Sensei. I just think she wants you to be as strong as possible, Kin told him. I guess. Kiba shrugged. They stood there in an awkward silence. Hey Kin, will you go on a date with me? Kiba asked all of a sudden. Kin looked at him. I didn't know you was so forward, she said. Kiba shrugged. It's not like I have anything to lose. Tayuya turned me down. Hinata turned me down. Ino, Sakura, and Tenten all turned me down sometime during the past year. At least I know I gave it a shot if you turn me down, he said. Wow, all them turned you down, Kin said. Yay, but they also said they was into someone else, well except Tayuya who said she liked me enough to be around me for 5 minutes, Kiba said. Kin laughed. That girl is something else. I like her, we have actually became good friends. She helps me with my training, she said. Oh, Kiba said. I guess I can give you a chance, Kiba, Kin told him. Really? He asked in his excitement. Kin giggled. Yes I can. Just don't talk to Akamaru too much around me, that's too weird for me, and don't become all protective and you will be good, she said. Okay, I won't, Kiba said. Lee was following Hana through Konoha. Why do I have to change my outfit? It shows my youthfulness, he said. All it shows is your stupid fashion sense, Lee, and if you really want to date me you will do this for me. That's all I'm asking. Stop being like Guy. One of him is enough for this village, it's time to become your own person. And stop yelling all the time, I'm 2 steps in front of you, Hana said in frustration. But Hana. He was cut off. Look Lee, you're a great shinobi, but no one will take you serious as long as you act like Guy, and you will never have many friends if you keep scaring them off with your constant yelling, Hana said. Lee sighed in defeat. You think it's a good idea? He asked. If I didn't I wouldn't have suggested it. Now what style of clothes do you want? I'll even buy them for you, Hana asked. Well, I guess the standard Anbu outfit, but in green would do for me, he replied. Good. Now do you have a weapon? Hana asked. No, I don't like using weapons besides the basic kunai and shuriken, he said. Well, in that case, will you be willing to get seals on your arms right under your palms that store kunais and shurikens? She asked. Sure, as long as they don't take much chakra to activate, Lee said. Don't worry, Jiraiya can make it so you can use it whenever you want, Hana said. After 2 months of work, the three was able to put their money together and buy a bigger place. The place they bought was a 4-bedroom 2-story house. It was 4 bedrooms because there was number 3 bedroom houses for sale. The house itself was medium in size with a large backyard, which made Naruto think that they paid more for the yard than the house itself. Kiki told them that they would start training in their yard instead of going to the training grounds. Hinata and Kiki was in the yard sparing since Naruto was asleep and they both had the day off. It was early in the morning so nothing was opened. As they was sparing someone appeared in their yard, make that 3 someones. Kiki and Hinata immediately got into their attack mode until they recognized the chakras of the 3 intruders. Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, what are you 3 doing here? Hinata asked. Tsunade informed us of your mission here and we wanted to make sure everything was going fine, Temari answered. Well, I for one am happy to be out of Suna for a few days, Kankuro said. Where is Naruto? Gaara asked. He is sleeping, Hinata answered. When does he wake up? Gaara asked. In a few hours, he usually sleeps in on the weekends. Let's go walk around. I know everything is closed, but it will give us something to do. Unless of course you all want to spar, Kiki said. I will wait for Naruto to wake up to spar him. I want to test out the new skills Shukaku have trained me in, Gaara said. What Shukaku trained you? He ain't trying anything, is he? If so, then I will put him in his place, Kiki said. Well, he hasn't tried anything yet, just said I will need more advanced skills for the upcoming events that all Jinchuriki will face, Gaara said. Oh, I see. Well, if he tries to take control of you even once, let me know. Also tell him I said he better let you sleep or he is in for a world of hurt when I see him, Kiki said. Temari looked at Hinata. So what is there to do in this country? Is the tea good? She asked. Surprisingly, they sell more sake than they sell tea, but we don't drink sake and the tea is some of the best I have ever tasted, Hinata told her. Gaara jumped on the roof and laid down looking at the sky. The rest started to leave the house. Gaara, you coming? Temari yelled. No, he replied. An hour later, Naruto woke up and showered and went to eat some cereal when he sensed Gaara on the roof. He grabbed a bowl, milk, and cereal and jumped onto the roof. Hey Gaara, when did you get here? He asked. An hour ago, Gaara answered. I see. Where is Temari and Kankuro? Naruto asked. Went walking with the others, Gaara answered. I feel sorry for him, Naruto said and starting to eat his cereal. You know all Jinchurikis are in danger, Gaara said. Naruto shook his head. There is a group in S-rank ninjas that are killing them to take their biju to make some ultimate weapon. Shukaku is training me to fight them. Temari and Kankuro also increased their training, Gaara told Naruto. Me and Hina are being trained by Kiki personally, Naruto said. Just make sure to keep an eye out for them, and if you can fight them one-on-one, that's the best way to kill them, Gaara said. Right, want to spar? Naruto asked. Let's go, Gaara said. The two jumped off the roof. Naruto set his stuff on the deck and got into his stance. They attacked each other, blocking, dodging, and countering. Gaara created a sand spear while Naruto pulled out his rod from its seal and they attacked each other again. Gaara and Naruto got faster and faster as they attacked each other again. Gaara swung his spear at Naruto's head, who ducked and swiped at Gaara's feet with his rod. Gaara maneuvered in the air so that he was coming down at Naruto with this spear posed to strike through his head. Naruto made a quick sidestep and then brought his rod around and hit Gaara in the back full force. They was about to start attacking again when they noticed the return of Hinata, Kiki, Temari, and Kankuro and they was watching them. They looked back at them. Well, at least you both improved, Kiki finally said. Is that all you have to say? Naruto asked. Kiki shrugged. Why didn't you put your stuff up when you was finished? She asked, pointing to his used cereal bowl, and the milk and cereal. Tsunade was looking over the reports from Kiki, comparing them to the last few she got. She sighed in annoyance. This mission is not going how we thought it would, she told Kurenai, Anko, Yugo, Hiyashi, and Shizune. What do you mean? Kurenai asked. Well, they are going great with their training. Naruto and Hinata are learning to be self-efficient and how to make money using their ninja skills, but the actual mission is looking like it's going to be a failure, Tsunade said. You mean that politically Michi has made no strides to fight back for position that is rightfully his? Hiyashi asked. Yes, Tsunade said. I don't see why he didn't have one of those 3 just kill him and be over with it, Anko said. Apparently Naruto had the same idea, but with Michi wanting to be politically correct and do things by the book they can't. It took a full month for Hinata and Kiki to explain that to Naruto, Tsunade said. Since when did someone win politically by doing things by the book? Hiyashi asked. Never. Those who goes by the book always lose, in everything, Yugo said. So what will you have them do? Shizune asked. I was thinking of calling the mission off, but instead I'm going to give them the option that in 2 years if the situation don't change they can come back or do what a ninja does best and make things go Michi's way, Tsunade said. I wish you would just call this mission off and bring them home, but that's also a good idea, Kurenai said. Does everyone agree with this? Tsunade asked. I do, Hiyashi said. I guess, as long as they are safe, Yugo said. Good, now on to other news. Yugo, I need someone to constantly follow Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu, she said. I'll have Itachi, Yamato, and myself do it, Yugo said. Tsunade nodded. They are planning something and I want to know everything about it. They will not make a move without me knowing it. Jiraiya wouldn't have gotten that pissed if he didn't think they was up to no good. Shizune, I need you to find everything that those three tried to pass since Naruto was born. I want to know why they was so convinced that Naruto being adopted would have been bad thing. Anko, you're going to be a Junin instructor in a few years when Hanabi graduate. Kurenai, your team is dismantled until I can find replacement for Hinata, or she comes back, she told them. Hi. They all said. That's all, if you don't have anything to discuss you can leave, Tsunade said. Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu was sitting in a secret part of Danzo's house, neither knowing about the Mokuden bug that Yamato placed on them. We have a few years until it's time to start the last stage of our plan, Danzo said. Yes, it would have been easier if the Kyuubi brat didn't nominate Tsunade, but even with her there is nothing they can do to prevent this, Homura said. I agree, but what of Orochimaru? He will attack again, Kaharu said. I think he will hesitate now since Tsunade keeps Jiraiya around, even if he is a pain in our, he serves the purpose of keeping his ex-teammate away from us, Danzo said. What of the Uchihas? Kaharu asked. Well, Fugaku said he has a few trusted followers, the rest are strong believers that the clan will be stronger with the help of the village instead of trying to do a coup, Homura said. That is a problem. But we didn't kill Itachi's best friend for nothing. His Sharingan and arm is working wonders, Danzo said. But that still leaves the question, what do we do with Orochimaru? We can't leave him to himself. He will come up with a way to get to us and kill us. He isn't the type of person who fails twice, Kaharu asked. Well, we will have to send a spy, Danzo said. Who and what about Akatsuki? Homura asked. Let me think on this. Let's meet tomorrow so we can work out a plan, Danzo said. The 3 ANBUs was the Hokage's office. They are planning something. Naruto nominating you for Hokage put a hold on those plans, but it looks like they are trying to go with it anyway, Yamato said. Tsunade nodded. What do you suggest? She asked. We need to have spies set before Danzo get his route in Akatsuki or with Orochimaru, Yugo said. Yes, and I propose we use myself and Sasuke, Itachi said. Tsunade looked shocked. Why? She asked. Because we are both Uchihas, it would be more believable with the plan I worked out than just sending 2 people to them, he replied. Tsunade nodded. Bring me Sasuke, she said. What will you tell his friends? Yugo asked. I'm not sure if I should tell them. If I do then it could blow this plan. Telling Sasuke is a risk already, Tsunade said. Sasuke was brought into the room. Sasuke, have a seat and don't speak until I tell you to, Tsunade said. Itachi then stood. Sasuke, part of the clan, is planning a coup along with the 3 village elders. Although it can't be proven to execute the elders, I have proven that Otusan and some others in the clan are working on a coup. What do you think of this? He asked. Sasuke looked at Tsunade, who nodded. I think we should try and stop them. Maybe we can talk some sense into them, he said. I have tried. Otusan is sure that this coup will make the clan stronger, Itachi said. What? That's stupid. I'm only as strong as I am because I found out that Naruto was on the same level as me and I wanted to be better than him, Sasuke said. Exactly. That's why we have to stop this from happening. Now Sasuke, what you're about to hear you can't repeat to anyone, Tsunade said. Okay. Sasuke said. I plan on killing those who was part of this coup. You will walk in our parents' room just as I'm killing Otusan and I will then show you everything that happened with my Mangekyo Sharingan I will receive. You will use that as motivation to flee the village and go to Sound, where you will keep a close eye on Orochimaru and everything in Sound and send a report back to Tsunade every month. At the same time I will join Akatsuki and keep an eye on them, Itachi said. What? Why me? Sasuke asked. Like you was told, this has to be you and Itachi or it will look like you are spies, Itachi is the only one who can kill the coup without being discovered, and because of that you will have revenge for your clan on the front line of your mind, Yugo explained. Sasuke, I know this is a lot to ask, but unless you want Konoha and the rest of your family to die, then you must do this. Also get Orochimaru to train you as much as possible. Also eventually he will try and take over your body. Your Sharingan should be able to seal I'm inside you, but you can't forget about your revenge, or he will become suspicious of you, so you need to go after Itachi. From there you two will do what you can to make it look like a serious fight, Tsunade said. Sasuke nodded, taking everything in. When do we start? He asked. Tomorrow night. Come to our parents' room at exactly midnight or the mission will be blown, Itachi said. Sasuke, this is an S-rank mission. I expect you to carry out your part perfectly, Tsunade said. Can I bring someone with me on this mission? Sasuke asked. Everyone looked surprised. I haven't thought about that. Who was you thinking about? Tsunade asked. Sakura, my teammate, Sasuke said. What do you three think? Tsunade asked. Well, they are close. It would be believable that Sakura went with him to try and save him, Yugo said. Okay Sasuke, you can take her, but you can't tell her about this mission until after you meet Itachi in a few years, Tsunade said. Okay, I agree to do this mission, Sasuke said. Okay. Remember tonight at midnight, Itachi said. Wait, how will I get Sakura from her house? Sasuke asked. Leave that to me. Leave out of the north gate at 10 after midnight. Don't be late, Tsunade said. Okay. I have to go get ready, Sasuke said and left. Yugo have Sakura pack her things as if she was going on a long mission meeting and tell her to be at the north gate at 10 after midnight, Tsunade said. Itachi and Yugo left. Yamato, continue to spy on the three targets. Don't let them out of your sight, Tsunade said. I have Mokuden clones watching them, and have a Mokuden bug on each of them, he replied. Good. Now I need some sleep, I'm going to be busy as hell tomorrow, Tsunade said. Itachi had finished killing everyone he knew was in the coup and had killed his Otusan just as his cousin woke up. Itachi, what did you do? She asked, scared. Sorry cousin, but you will have to see the Hokage to know the reason why I killed who I did, Itachi said and hit a pressure point on her to put her to sleep. Sasuke ran into his parents' room. Itachi, what did you do? He yelled. Silly little brother. I did it to test my power, Itachi said. I'll kill you. Sasuke ran at Itachi, who slammed him back onto the wall and looked into Sasuke's eyes with a Mangekyo Sharingan. Don't forget your part of this mission, Sasuke, he said. He then showed himself killing everyone. Sasuke cried from the pain of the Mangekyo Sharingan and seeing his family killed. She slowly got up and ran. He reached the north gate. Sasuke-kun, why are you here? Sakura asked. I'm leaving, he said. No, I won't let you, Sakura said. You can't stop me, Sasuke said. Then take me with you, Sakura said. No, this is my revenge, Sasuke said. Revenge? Sakura asked. Itachi killed my clan. I'm going to kill him, Sasuke said. I'm going. I have my stuff packed because I had a mission, but that's not important. I can't let you leave by yourself. What if you get hurt? Who will heal you? Sakura asked. Fine, but I'm not slowing down for you, Sasuke said. With that, the two ran off into the night. The next morning, the village was up in panic. Tsunade, Sasuke, Sakura, and Itachi is missing, and a number of Uchihas was killed, Shizune yelled, running into the office. Okay. Get me a team to go after them, Tsunade said. All we have available are Genins, Kiba and Shino, Shizune said. Then bring me Kiba and Shino, Tsunade said. A few minutes later, the two Chunins was in the office. I need you two to go find Sasuke and Sakura. I believe they went north towards Rice Country, but do not enter Rice, she said. Hi. They both sand and vanished. Tsunade shook her head. I hope they got far enough, she mumbled. Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu was fuming. What the hell happened? Who could have found out exactly who to kill to stop our coup? Danzo yelled. I don't know, but given that Itachi was named a traitor, I would think he did, Kaharu said. Damn him. Years of planning down the toilet just in one night, Danzo said. The only way we can achieve our goals now is to pressure Tsunade to do what we want, like we did with Hiruzen, Homura said. I know. Danzo snapped his fingers. Find any information we can use against Tsunade. Anything that relates to her. I don't care what it is. he told his route. Yamato was in the Hokage's office. We have stopped what they was planning, but now they are working on a way to get you to do what they want like they did with the third, he said. Let them try. The only thing they will find on me is that I like to drink and gamble. Even then it would be useless since I have been paid off my debt before I came back to the village, and I only drink when Shizune is around me, Tsunade shrugged. What do you want me to do? Yamato asked. Tell Yugo I need some ANBUs to find, follow, and if necessary kill those root members, although they won't find anything on me. I can't risk them finding out about the missions I gave Sasuke and Itachi. It would cause a civil war and I will not risk that, Tsunade said. Once Yamato was gone, Kakashi came back. I'm here to report from my mission, he said. Tsunade looked at him and cursed. Damn it, I wanted to see him in a few hours. Well, Kakashi, that will have to wait. I need you to head north and find Kiba and Shino. I sent them after Sasuke and Sakura after they both was found to be missing, she said. What, when was they gone? How, what happened? Kakashi yelled. I'll explain later, now go, Tsunade said. Kakashi vanished. Damn, I need a drink. Shizune, is it lunchtime? I need a drink, she yelled. No, Su-chan, you have a few hours, but you can have some coffee or tea, Shizune replied. Damn it. I guess I'll take some tea, Tsunade said. 2 hours later, Kakashi came back with both Shino and Kiba. We couldn't find them, Kakashi said. Before Tsunade could respond, her door flew open. Tsunade-sama, you have to do something, this is bad. Makoto yelled with tears in her eyes and looked like she has been crying all morning. Tsunade sighed. Kiba, Shino, you did good. You can go, she told them once they was gone and the door closed. Shizune, get in here and close the door, Tsunade said. Once Shizune was in the room, Tsunade used a small Raiden jutsu on her desk, destroying the mic that she knew Danzo put on it. Once she was satisfied that no one could hear her, she sighed heavily. What I'm about to tell you is an SS Black Book secret and you all must sign a blood oath before I continue, she said, pulling out a blood oath scroll. The three looked at it in shock when they saw Yugo, Yamato, Itachi, and Sasuke's name on it. Once they signed, Tsunade continued. Now Sasuke, Sakura, and Itachi are all on S-rank mission, although Sakura don't know, she thinks she is trying to help Sasuke. But in short, Itachi decided to kill part of the Uchiha clan to prevent a coup they was planning with the three elders. He suggested that we use Sasuke to keep an eye on Orochimaru because it would be the most believable plan, since Sasuke would look like he is out for revenge while he went to spy on Akatsuki. Both have seals on them so that they will not be able to talk about this to no one. They both will send monthly reports on what they find. Also, Sasuke has direct orders to get Orochimaru to train him. And since Sakura is with him, I'm sure he will force Orochimaru to train her one way or another. Makoto, I can't say I know how it feels to have a son labeled as a traitor, but I can assure you that Sasuke will not be put on that list. Also, when Akatsuki is dealt with, Itachi will have the label removed and everything will be explained, Tsunade told them. They took all this in slowly. It was quiet for 10 minutes. Why do we need a spy in Akatsuki? I understand Orochi Tem. But ain't Akatsuki just a group of rouge ninjas that like to cause random trouble? Makoto asked. I wish it was that. But in truth, Akatsuki is a group made completely of S-rank missing nins, all was hailed as prodigies of their respective village, and one member Kakuzu was around when my uncle was Hokage. Somehow he is able to escape death, and their main purpose is to collect Jinchuriki and use their biju for some kind of weapon. Jiraiya told me all this and he hasn't figured out what that weapon is supposed to do yet. So as you can see, it is imperative we find out what their true intentions are, Tsunade said. I see. This a lot bigger than I thought, and more important than me wanting my son back, Makoto said. Right. This can affect the entire shinobi word. That's why you three had to sign that blood oath before I told you this, and no, if this gets out, the person who told this and the persons that heard it will be killed, Tsunade said. So what do we do? Kakashi asked. We continue as if Itachi is a traitor and fight him when we come across him. Sasuke and Sakura will have a constant search party looking for them. Of course, I don't expect no one short of Jiraiya or Naruto to actually find them, Tsunade said. Naruto, why him? Makoto asked. Because he is their teammates. He won't give up on finding and saving them. As far as he knows, they are innocent in the whole thing and will try everything to prove it, Shizune said. It's the one thing I drilled them. Once a team, always a team. No matter what happen, you can always trust your teammates to find you when you need them, Kakashi said. Which is exactly why I sent Sakura at the gate knowing Sasuke would be there. If she was still here, she wouldn't have understood and would have begged constantly to go look for Sasuke, Tsunade said. Makoto thought about this. Is this why you sent Naruto to Tea Country? She asked. Tsunade was truly shocked by this question, and it showed. You didn't even think about that, did you, Su-chan? Shizune asked. No, but for the first time since I sent him away, I'm happy I did. He is just like Kushina when he sets his mind to something, Tsunade said. I'm going home to think about what I learned here today, Makoto said. Fine, but so you know, if I don't see you around in the village in a few hours, I will send ANBUs to your house to make sure you're okay, Tsunade warned. Sasuke and Sakura was running through sound. Sasuke-kun, where are we going? Sakura asked. To Orochimaru for training, Sasuke said. What, we can't, he is a traitor, Sakura said. Look Sakura, I let you come because you promised you would help me. If you have a problem with this, then leave me to do this on my own, Sasuke said. But why him? He creeps me out, Sakura said. Sasuke stopped, which made her stop. I promise I will protect you from anyone who tries to harm you in any way, he said, hugging her. Sakura hugged him back. Do you really think this is a good idea? She asked. Honestly, I don't, but right now I can't turn back until I kill Itachi, and I need your support, Sasuke said. Sakura was exploding with joy on the inside. I'll always support you, Sasuke-kun, she said. Good. Let's go, we need to get this Tem to train us before Konoha's hunters find us, Sasuke said. Okay. But what happens if we run into Naruto? You know we can't fight him, Sakura said. We will cross that bridge when we come to it, but I hope we don't, Sasuke said. The two Chunins arrived at Sound's gate. Hey idiot, let us in, Sasuke yelled. Do you have a meeting with the Otokage? The guard asked. Look, if you don't let me and my girlfriend through now, I will kill you, Sasuke said, getting pissed and not noticing the slip of words, but oh how Sakura heard it and was about to faint from happiness. No one gets through without a permission from the Otokage. Now you and your girlfriend needs to leave, he said. Sasuke was now pissed. Sakura ready to kill some guards, he asked. Anything for you, my Sasu-kun, she said. What the hell? Sakura, snap out of it, Sasuke said, snapping his fingers in her face. Sorry, she said, blushing in embarrassment. It's fine, but we have to fight our way in because some is trying to act all high and mighty, Sasuke said. Sakura turned to him. How dare you deny me and Sasu-kun access into this shithole you call a village? She then vanished and kicked him off the wall to Sasuke, who met him with his katana ready and sliced him in half. Sakura dropped down with her ring ready. Sasu-kun, more are coming, she said. I'm ready, Sasuke said, activating his Sharingan. Sakura also got into her stance next to her Sasu-kun and was ready to fight with her man. Once the gate was opened, Sakura immediately jumped in front of Sasuke and spun with her ring extended, splitting the group of Sound Nins. She then turned it so the opening of the ring was facing Sasuke, who jumped through it and took out the closest Sound Nin. They protected each other's back, and after 15 minutes Orochimaru came. Stop, he commanded his nins. He looked around. I must say I'm impressed, but why are Konoha nins in my village? He asked, already thinking of the many experiments he could use them for. You're going to train us? Sasuke demanded. What, why would I do that? Orochimaru asked. I need to kill Itachi, and if you refuse to train Sakura, then we will go to someone who will train her, Sasuke said. Orochimaru thought about it. No need, I will train you both, he said. Also, don't even think about trying to put that seal on us, or you will get a first-hand experience of my Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke threatened. Of course it was a bluff, but as long as Orochimaru believed it, then he was fine. Fine, whatever. I have enough mindless slaves to experiment on anyway, Orochimaru said, waving his hand while walking away. He turned to a random shinobi. Get them a small house now, he demanded, and walked away. This way, the shinobi said. Sakura and Sasuke followed him. All the houses we have available are 4 bedrooms. I hope that is fine with you, he said. That will be fine, as long as it has a yard for us to train, Sasuke said. It has a large yard, the shinobi said. How much do we owe? Sakura asked. Oh, no, this is free. When Orochimaru-sama tells you to get something, you get for free, the shinobi said, then left. I'm going to sleep. We can look for furniture later, Sasuke said. Sasu-kun, did you mean it when you called me your girlfriend? Sakura asked. Sasuke blinked at her and started to think about what happened. Oh, that. He got me so mad that I just talked without thinking, he said. So you don't like me? She asked on the verge of tears. That's not what I mean. You are with me now, ain't you? All I meant was that I'm not really sure how I feel right now. Just give me time, please, Saku-chan, he asked, giving her his own pet name for her. Sakura smiled at the pet name. Okay, Sasu-kun, take as long as you need. I'll be in my room sleeping, she said. Sasuke watched her walk up the stairs and shook his head. This is how Dobi felt with Hinata, huh? I think I can get to like this feeling. He was right for once, the feeling to love someone is great, he said to himself. Sakura and Sasuke was sitting in their newly furnished house when Orochimaru knocked on the door. Sasuke let him in and he walked into the living room where Sakura was. I don't care about your past, personal life, or any of that crap. As long as you do what I say and complete your missions without fail, you will not have to worry about becoming one of my experiments, he told them. Is that a threat? Sasuke asked. I don't make threats. It was a warning that I don't accept failure or insubordination. Now, as far as your training, you both will arrive at my personal training ground exactly at 8 in the morning. Kabuto will take you there the first time, but after that you will have to find it yourself. Don't be late. Sasuke, you will sign the snake contract. Sakura, you can't sign it since you signed the slug contract, Orochimaru said. Fine, where is it at? Sasuke asked. Once Sasuke signed it, Orochimaru continued. Now your clothes are to Konoha for my liking. You both will have a new attire before I train you in anything. He then walked out. I see why Tsunade doesn't like him. He is even creepier when he is close to you, Sakura said. Saku-chan, I told you I will always protect you, Sasuke said. I know, Sasu-kun, but I'm a kunoichi, you shouldn't have to protect me, she said. Well, if you're with me then I have to. You're my responsibility. I'm the reason you left home. I can't allow harm to come to you, Sasuke said. Sakura smiled at him, trying to speak his feelings but failing. I know, Sasu-kun. You hungry? Hinata taught me how to cook before she left, she asked. Yes, I could go for a lunch, Sasuke said. Naruto and Hinata was laying sweating hard from their last training session with Kiki. Kiki herself had created a kitsune contract for Hinata and had Naruto asked Gamabunta if he could sign it. Gamabunta agreed but had a condition that Naruto had to do the Toad Sage training sometime within the next 2 years and the kitsune have to be a family-specific contract along with the Toad contract. This meant only Hyugas directly related to Hinata and any future kids that Naruto and Hinata had could sign both. Kiki agreed as she had the same thoughts about the contract. Shortly after creating it, she told them that the contract wasn't a fighting one like the Toads. They specialize in tracking, hunting, sending messages, and carrying stuff, but said that they could use the tails of the kitsunes the same way Anko used her snakes in their taijutsu style, but they wouldn't be poisoned. Instead they will grab, cut, or push their opponents away. In the year they was gone, both Hinata and Naruto changed their clothes. Naruto was still wearing orange, but it was darker and his coat was exchanged for a cloak that reached down to his mid-shin and a pair of wooden sandals like Jiraiya's. Hinata stopped wearing that baggy coat in exchange for a long trench coat that was purple. Her clothes was also purple. At the moment Kiki said their skills was mid-Junin level. The three was looking at the sky when Kichi puffed on Naruto's stomach. Hey Nisan, do you have my chips? He asked. They are in the cabinet like always, Naruto said. Okay, here is your scroll, Kichi said. Naruto grabbed the scroll and started to read. Naruto, Hinata, and Kiki, I know you three are bored out of your mind without anything happening in Tea Country. I hope you are doing well and making friends to help pass the time by. Everyone here misses you. Now I have something to tell you, but you all have to promise you won't flip out and demand to be taken off this mission. Did you promise me? You know a ninja never breaks their promise. Now Itachi killed part of the Uchiha clan that was planning to have a coup involving the three elders. But we don't have enough to prove they are planning some yet, but we will soon. Because of this, Sasuke is seeking revenge and left the village to train with Orochi Tem. Sakura went with him to keep him safe and bring him home where he belongs. As she put it in her letter she snuck to me with her slug summon. Now I know you're wondering why I don't want you to go crazy looking for them. Because if you do, especially you Naruto, there will be consequences and the elders is looking for anything to pin on me so they can use it to try and control me like they did sensei, so please don't do anything without my consent. Now that that is out of the way, I have another mission for you three. There is a group of bandits lurking in the southern parts of Fire Country. I know I could use anyone for this, but I thought you three could use some exercise and stretch your legs and kick some. Send me a message when you complete this mission, and if you can try and get some information from them. Tsunade. God, I'm Hokage. Naruto looked at the two kunoichis. I hope Sakura can help him, Hinata said. I believe in her, Naruto said. Believing someone is pointless when they are weaker and slower than the person they are trying to convince to do something. I just hope that she is safe, Kiki said. What, of course she is. Tem wouldn't anything happen to her. He may not know it, but I believe he likes her more than he lets on, Naruto said. What makes you think that? Hinata asked. Because he acted just like I did when I got to know you, and when it was only us two he was really defensive and pissed about how people always talked down about Sakura, Naruto said. Well, I trust your judgment on this. No one knows Sasuke like you since he is your rival and all, Hinata said. Now let's get out of this country. We have a mission and I need to see something different besides the same thing every day, Kiki said. Kiki, Hinata, and Naruto was jumping through Fire Country at full speed. Well, full speed for Hinata and Naruto. Kiki wasn't even using half her speed. They arrived at the spot that Tsunade mentioned and crept in. They noticed that since it was in the middle of the night everyone was asleep. Well, since we can't get any information, let's kill all but one and send for the Anbu, Kiki said. Once that was done they went around the hut finding anything that can be sent off with them. Sasuke and Sakura was in the middle of a spar that was closely watched by Orochimaru. It has been 8 months since they left Konoha and they became closer to each other. Sasuke still wouldn't admit she was his girlfriend though even when they acted like a couple. They quickly realized that everyone in sound made Danzo look like someone who was enjoyable to talk to. Sasuke himself became very protective around Sakura after he saw how they treated the women in the village. It disgusted him that the shinobi would openly rape any female that wasn't skilled enough to protect herself from them. He tried his hardest to keep Sakura from seeing it, but once she did all hell broke out on the shinobi of sound, in the form of a pissed off pink-haired kunoichi and her protective not boyfriend, as she called him. Soon though Sakura decided to teach the women to protect themselves by teaching them medics. Once they had enough control the first thing she showed them was chakra scalpels and showed them where to cut if someone tried to rape them, using a poor unfortunate soul who tried to sneak up on her and was caught by Sasuke before he even was within 10 feet of Sakura. It's safe to say the rape crime dropped to almost non-existent, and those who successfully raped someone answered to Sakura personally. Sakura sat on the couch reading a scroll that Orochimaru gave her on her elemental training when Sasuke came and laid down putting his head in her lap and closed his eyes. She rubbed her hand through his hair. When was the last time you shampooed your hair? She asked when her hand came out greasy. Sasuke shrugged. Maybe a month, I don't know, I've been too busy to pay attention, he said. Sasuke, go wash your hair, Sakura said. I'm tired, Sasuke said. Now Sasuke, or I'm not cooking you dinner, Sakura threatened, knowing that she can get him to do anything when it came to her not cooking. Fine. Sasuke got up grumbling and went to shower. While Sasuke showered, Sakura went to start dinner for the two. She quickly boiled water to make spaghetti. Just as she finished, added the chicken and sauce to it. Sasuke came out. Happy now? He asked. Sakura walked over. Bend down, she said. He did as told and she smelled it, then ran her hand through it. Good, and make sure you wash it at least once a week, she told him, washing her hands and putting his plate of food on the table. Itachi and his new partner, Kisame, who had somehow escaped death, but wouldn't tell Itachi how, was sitting in a random bar. Itachi was reflecting on how everything so far was going according to plan until someone brought him out of his thought. Excuse me, but I couldn't help but notice you look familiar, a female's voice said. I'm sorry, but you will have to be more specific. I have met a lot of women in my profession as a shinobi and not all are people I would like to remember, Itachi said. You saved me when my village was under attack. I'm Kirei from Valley Village, she said. Oh yes, now I remember. One of the few ladies that I have met that was pleasant to save, Itachi said. Well, I wanted to thank you again and was wondering if we could get to know more about each other, Kirei asked. Itachi looked at Kisame. What? He asked. Are you really going to take her up on that offer? You know how dangerous it is for shinobi to get involved with civilians, Kisame said. Itachi shrugged. Unlike you, I would like to get to know someone of the opposite who I don't work with. He then got up. Oh Kisame, if you follow me, or if anyone hears about this, I will kill you. He then walked away to sit at Kirei's table. Great, I get stuck with the new hothead, but he is the older brother of that Sasuke and he handled Haku pretty easy, so it would be worth my while to become friends with him, Kisame said to himself and ordered something to eat and sake. So, Itachi was it. How is things going for you? She asked. Well, considering the situation, things are going well, he replied. Well, that's the best we can hope for with your lifestyle and all, Kirei said. Yes, it is, Itachi replied. Hey, I noticed that blue guy keep looking over here, can we go for a walk? The whole thing about him looking like a shark creeps me out, she said. Itachi let out a chuckle. He creeps everyone out. Yes, we can go for a walk, he said. They got up and headed for the door. Kisame, I'm going for a walk. I won't be far, but don't follow me, Itachi said before he left with Kirei. The two ended up in a small park and Itachi was teaching her to access her chakra out of boredom for him and her wanting to learn to use it. Tenten sighed in frustration at her Hyuga teammate. Ever since Hinata left, he became closed off and quite frankly acted like an idiot, and Tenten was seriously getting pissed off by it. She walked out the training area that Neji was in and ran into Hanabi. Hi Hanabi, Tenten said. I see me cousin is still frustrating you, the 9-year-old said. You have no idea. I'm so close to cutting off his, well, let's just say it will be painful, Tenten said. Hanabi nodded. I understand. I miss Hinata Nichan also, but he is taking this overboard, she said. I can't even talk to him now. All he does is sit here like an idiot. He is lucky my throwing eye only gives me perfect aim, or I would have missed a target and hit him somewhere that he would regret acting like this, Tenten said. Hanabi laughed. Maybe you should, and while he is in the hospital talk to him, she said. Maybe I will, but not now, because if I do my dream of having kids won't come true, Tenten said. I understand, Hanabi said. So you heard from Hinata? Tenten asked. Yes, she said she is training hard and that she can't wait to see me. She sent me a picture of her, Naruto, and Kiki. They looked happy, but also sad, Hanabi said. I would expect that. They are away from home for who knows how long, Tenten said. She did get me to ask Otusan for permission for her to date Naruto though. He gave her permission. She was so happy. I could tell by her writing, Hanabi said. That's great. Well, I have to go. I promised Otusan I would do second shift at the store, Tenten said and vanished via Shunshin. I have to learn to do that, Hanabi said. You will when you are a senior at the academy, Hiyashi said from the door. Otusan, how long have you been there? Hanabi asked. Long enough to know that I might have a sterile nephew, he answered. For the last few months Itachi and Kisame have been visiting Waterfall Country a lot, with Itachi spending his time with Kirei and Kisame doing what he can to pass the time by. Itachi had taught her to use her chakra for basic things like tree climbing, water walking, and basic jutsus that would help her around her house. He also started to teach her to fight and use a basic katana he bought her. Slowly Itachi found himself in love with this girl and would spend as much time with her as possible, much to the annoyance of Kisame, but he didn't complain because hearing Itachi talk about killing and actually witnessing him take out an entire group of 10 of Junins with no help and did it all within 30 minutes meant Itachi wouldn't hesitate to kill Kisame if he betrayed what little trust he gave the blue man. So instead of complaining, Kisame took up the chore of teaching Kirei to use her katana like only true swordsmen can. What surprised him was the ease she learned with. After a few months of teaching her, he could say that she could easily take out any genin with her katana, but was still far from the level he wanted his new student to be at. Of course, Itachi didn't trust Kisame around Kirei and kept a close eye on him, looking for anything that he didn't approve of. He felt a hit to his pride that he knew Kisame would be a better katana teacher than he was, but, of course, he wasn't telling anyone. Sasuke and Sakura was laying on the couch, Sasuke's head on Sakura's lap like always, as she was reading the progress scroll that Kabuto gave them from Orochimaru. Neither really cared about it because they knew that they was getting stronger. Sasuke also was struggling not to reveal the truth to Sakura, but with that damned blood oath, if he told her one thing before they fought Itachi, he will be killed once they return to the village. Sasuke was half listening to Sakura as she read, then all of a sudden he pressed his face against her stomach, surprising the kunoichi. She looked at him confused. Sasu-kun, what are you doing that tickles you? No, she asked through giggles. I just like the scent you wear, he said. Sasu-kun, if you keep doing things people will keep assuming you my boyfriend even though you swear you're not my boyfriend, she told him. You know Saku-chan, I don't think being your boyfriend will be that bad, he said. What are you saying? Sakura asked. Well, you know I'm not good at this stuff, but I do like you a lot, he said. Just come out and say in plain words Sasu-kun, Sakura said. Will you be my girlfriend? He asked. Sakura smiled that he finally asked. Of course I will, Sasu-kun. She then bent down and kissed him. Once she broke from him, he smiled. You should write to Naruto and let him know you're safe. If I know the Dobi he will be worried about you, Sasuke said. Good idea. I haven't spoke to him in so long. I wonder how he changed, Sakura said. Sasuke looked at the clock. Well, that will have to wait. It's time for our shift on guard duty, he said, adjusting his katana on his lower back. This giant bow thing we have to wear is uncomfortable, he added. Yes, I know, but they do well with holding our weapons in place, Sakura said as she attached her ring to the bow at the sides. Not like we needed them though. My katana was just fine with its original sash that it came with, and that thing on you looks uncomfortable, Sasuke said. It is, but at least I don't have to carry my ring in my hand, Sakura said. Hinata was sitting in the bath when a slug popped in the bathroom. Hinata looked at it. You know this is an invasion of privacy, she said. The slug looked at her. You are not my type. Besides, I'm a female slug. The slug then put the letter on the floor. Thanks, Hinata said. Goodbye. The slug was then gone. Then a toad popped into the room. Kichi, what the hell, I told you not to come in here when I'm in the bath, Hinata yelled. Sorry Nichan, but I have a message from the big lady and Nisan is at work, and Nichan is sleeping, the toad said. Fine, but no chips for you, Hinata said. What Nichan, that's so mean, Kichi whined. Then next time don't come in the bathroom when I'm in here, Hinata said. The toad dropped the letter and puffed away. Hinata sat in the tub still soaking when Kiki walked in. Hey, I heard yelling, is everything okay? She asked. That perverted toad came in here again after I told him not to when I'm in here, Hinata said. Kichi so innocent yet spent too much time around Jiraiya. What did he want? Kiki asked. We have 2 letters. Hinata pointed to them. Kiki took the first one and opened it. Naruto, Kiki, and Hinata, how have you 2 been? If you haven't figured this is Sakura. I'm great, trying to convince Sasuke-kun that revenge is not the answer to his problem, but you know how he is, once he set his mind he becomes as stubborn as well, Naruto. But there is good news, I am training with Sasuke-kun with Orochi Tem. He might be a bastard but he knows his stuff. We both are getting stronger. It would be so make my day if we was able to see each other sometime soon. Well, I don't know what else to say except that I'm fine and I think I'm getting through to Sasuke-kun, but also this is training that I probably will never be given a chance to get again, so maybe I should finish training, even if the fashion that we have to wear here is an eyesore, then beat Sasuke-kun to a pulp and drag him back home. Just playing me hurting Sasuke-kun is like Hinata hurting Naruto, it just won't happen. But I will bring him home even if it takes years to do it. Oh, how can I forget? Sasuke-kun asked me to be his girlfriend. Can you believe it? I'm Sasuke-kun's girlfriend. You can't believe how happy that made me when he asked. Please don't tell anyone else though. They might think I let Sasuke-kun talk me into staying, when I want him home just as much as everyone else. Sakura. P.S. I'll send a slug to you in a few days to see if you replied. Well, that's good for her. I hope I see her also, Hinata said after Kiki finished reading the letter. Well, she is right. It's a good idea to finish milking all the training she can from Orochi Tem before she tries to return with Sasuke, Kiki said. Itachi was sitting with Kirei, who was tired from her katana training. Itachi took care to make sure she wasn't hurt in any way or else he would be out of a partner. Of course, Kirei didn't appreciate this. She had to tell Itachi she was fine and getting hurt was part of training, and if she didn't get hurt then she wouldn't be learning. Itachi reluctantly let up his protectiveness, only a little though. Then an idea hit Itachi. Want to learn medics? He asked. Sure, Itachi-kun, she replied with her head on his chest. I'll go find you a teacher. Someone who can stay hidden and teach you everything a medic needs to know, he said. Just don't be so protective when my new sensei gets here and you are too hard on Kisame when he is training me. He can't do it right if you keep breathing down his neck telling him if he hit me too hard you will kill him every time he swings his weapon, Kirei said. I agree with that point, Kisame said. Itachi glared at him. No one asked your opinion, Kisame, he said. Itachi, leave him alone. You just take your protectiveness a little too far sometimes. She then straddled him and looked in his eyes. Look, honey, I love that you want to always protect me and will even kill your friends if they hurt me. But you're training me for a reason, and what's the point of all this training if you are threatening my senseis and never let me get hurt so I can know what I did wrong? She asked. Itachi hugged her. I'm sorry. I just don't want to lose you. You're the first person I ever had this kind of connection with and I don't want to lose it, he said. Do Itachi Uchiha have a soft spot? Kisame asked. Kisame, say something else and you will meet my Mangekyo firsthand, Itachi threatened. Kisame, keep teasing my boyfriend and I will let him carry out his threat on you, Kirei said. Kisame shook his head. She was once so sweet, now Itachi corrupted her, he joked. Now Kirei, you know taijutsu, and how to use a katana for your own protection, so when we leave if anyone tries anything don't hesitate, you use what we showed you, and if the government tries anything like putting you in jail tell them. Itachi stopped and looked at Kisame. He then leaned in towards Kirei and whispered, tell them you have the protection of Konohagakure and that before they can do anything to you they have to get permission from Tsunade the Godime Hokage, he said. Why would I have to tell them that? Kirei asked. Trust me, it's for your protection, and under no circumstance do you reveal that me and Kisame trained you. I know this is a lot but in time you will understand why this is so important. All I can say right now is I'm part of group called Akatsuki and they are bunch of bad people who do anything to achieve their goal. One of them is Kisame, that's why I keep a close eye on him when he is around you, Itachi said. You promise to tell me why everything is a secret? She asked. I promise, Itachi said. And Konohagakure will give me protection when I need it? She asked. Yes, she might even send someone here to meet you. Don't tell them about me, it's for your own protection, Itachi said. Okay, Itachi-kun. She then kissed him. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Kisame asked. Kirei smiled at Itachi. Do you really want to know what me and my boyfriend was whispering about? She asked, stressing the boyfriend as long and girly as she could. Actually when I think about it I don't, he said. Kirei just giggles and snuggled into Itachi's body and closed her eyes. Hinata was writing a scroll back to Sakura when Naruto came and sat behind her wrapping his arms around his waist. What you doing, Hina-chan? He asked. Writing to Sakura, Hinata replied. What you heard from Sakura, how is she? She's not hurt is she? Naruto asked. No Naru-kun, she is fine. Here is her scroll, Hinata said, handing him a scroll. He read it and smiled. Told you he liked her more than he let on, he said to Hinata. She leaned back onto his chest. Yes you did. Is there anything you want to tell Sakura? She asked. Yay, tell her to tell Tem. I'm going to kick his for running away, Naruto said. Hinata wrote down what he said and turned so she was straddling Naruto. So a wonderful boyfriend of mine. What do you want to do? She asked, kissing him after every word. Naruto had a twinkle in his eye thinking of the things they could do. No Naru-kun, we are still too young for that. We need to wait one more year. We can do it on my birthday, I promise, she said, already knowing what he wanted to do. Naruto put on a fake hurt face, then cheered up as Hinata kissed him. Let's walk around until we find something to do, he said. So the two left the house hand in hand walking around looking for something to do. Almost 2 years later, the 15-year-old Hinata was laying in the hospital bed in pain. Terrible pain was all she knew. Kiki was standing on the right of her with Naruto on her left, also grunting in pain, which pissed off Hinata. She was the one having twins, why the hell was he grunting in pain? She gripped his hand again and he grunted in pain again. Naruto Uzumaki Yuahi, shut the hell up, or I'll Juyuken you so bad you will never be able to use your shinobi on my kunoichi again. I'm the one giving birth, Hinata finally yelled. Naruto gulped and tried to block out the pain in his hand. Kiki while tried not to laugh at him. After a total of 5 hours, Hinata finally gave birth to their baby girls. One looked exactly like Hinata, the other, well, they didn't know who she looked like, but both had blue eyes like Naruto. After Hinata looked at the two girls in her arms, she smiled. Welcome to our family, Kushina Uzumaki Yuahi Hyuga and Iri Uzumaki Yuahi Hyuga, she said sweetly to them. You named them after your cousins? Kiki asked. Yes. I know Naru-chan never knew his, but I think they both will be proud to have the twins named after them, Hinata said. They are so cute. Naruto said. Yes they are, Hinata said. Passing them to Naruto. Iri-chan looks like you, but why don't Kushi-chan look like any of us? Naruto asked. I don't know, we will have to ask Tsunade, Hinata said. Tsunade, what are we going to tell them? They will be flip kunais on our. Naruto panicked. Naruto, don't use that language in front of my nieces, Kiki scolded. He has a point though. What will we tell them? Hinata asked. Kiki shrugged. Not like they can make you get rid of them, or undo anything, and Naru-kun already agreed to marry into your family so you can stay the heir of the Hyuga clan, she said. Well, I can't wait to show Hanabi Nichan her niece. She always wanted someone she can play with and spoil, Hinata said as she thought of her Imouto getting all mushy over the twins. Don't forget we have one more coming in a month or two, Kiki said, rubbing her stomach. What will we name her? Naruto asked. Minato, it's a him, Kiki said. Naruto looked surprised, but the doctors said it's a girl, he said. They also told me I would be pregnant for 9 months. Don't forget Naru-kun, I'm a demon. I know these things, also my pregnancy only lasts 6 months, Kiki said. I think I will be able to deliver your son, Hinata said. Good. I don't want all the questions about why my son has a tail, Kiki said. Tail? Naruto asked. Yup. The twins will have one too, since they will have my chakra in them. I'm like a second cousin for them. They should grow sometime in the next year, Kiki said. How will we hide them? I don't want them to go through what I went through, Naruto asked. Don't worry. I'll put a genjutsu on them, Kiki said. In sound, Sakura was laying her room with Sasuke at her side. Sakura's best friend, the first person and only person she fully trained in medics, was also there. Sakura clutched Sasuke's hand and screamed out in pain, Sasuke Uchiha, if you think you're putting that shinobi in my kunoichi again, then you're out of your mind, she yelled. Come on Sakura, push one last time, the nurse said. Once the baby was out and clean, she handed him to Sakura. Congratulations on your baby boy, she said, handing him to Sakura. Thank you Toshiro, Sakura said with a weak smile, taking her son. Sakura kissed him on the head and hugged him close. Welcome to our family, Raiden Uchiha, she said. Sasuke looked at him. He has your eyes, he said. He does. Good thing he don't have my hair, Sakura said. Yes, my son can't have pink hair, Sasuke said. Tsunade was looking at the scroll and smiled. Shizune, it has been a little over 2 years and they finally report some good news. Michi is making progress at becoming the leader of T-Country, she said. That's good. Hopefully it goes fast so they can come home soon, Shizune said. That's the bad news. Kiki had Naruto start to do things to swing the battle for leader to Michi's side, but they have to move slow because their opponent is starting to hire his own ninjas, Tsunade said. Did they give a timeline? Shizune asked. Yes, she said 5 years at most. If they are lucky 3 years and they can come home, Tsunade said. I'll spread the good news, Shizune said, smiling. Yes, also Kiki wrote that they have a surprise but wouldn't hint at what it was, Tsunade said. Knowing Naruto, it could be anything, but it's probably a new jutsu that they created or something like that, Shizune said. I don't know Shizune. She said it was a very big surprise, Tsunade said. Kisame was sitting in the living room of the house that Itachi bought for Kirei. At the moment the two was in the kitchen talking about something private. They wanted to get everything straightened out before they told him about it. After a few minutes Itachi and Kirei walked into the living room hand in hand like always. Kisame, what you're about to learn cannot be told to anyone, Itachi said. If you do then Itachi-kun will kill you, Kirei said. Okay, what's so important? Kisame asked. Kirei looked at the kitchen and waved for something. These are our sons, Von Uchiha and Briss Uchiha. They are twins, 2.5 years old, she said. Kisame looked surprised like they expected. How did you keep twins a secret for this long? He asked. Well, considering that she found out after we left her with the medic Nin, it was pretty easy. All we had to do was get the medic to watch them when you was here. also a genjutsu over them when she wasn't available, Itachi said. You used a genjutsu to hide your sons, you are a genjutsu master, Kisame said. It's easy when you was on the same genin team as Konoha's genjutsu mistress. She taught me the genjutsu because we had to use it a few times on missions, Itachi said. I see. So why are you telling me about them now? Kisame asked. It was Kirei's idea, Itachi said. Both twins looked like Itachi with dark brown eyes like their cousin. Otusan, can we go play? Vaughn asked. Yes, Vaughn. Itachi told the two. Kushina, Irie, and Minato, who looked even more like Minato than Naruto did, was in the yard training taijutsu with Hinata and Kiki. Hinata wasn't sure if the twins had the Byakugan but wanted them to know how to use Juyuken just in case. Kiki was teaching the three kids snake style, and wing soon, both she memorized from when Naruto learned them. They decided to teach the kids the basics since Naruto wasn't good with going over them. He tried and tried hard, but he just couldn't explain them, so he was going to teach them sealing when they turned 5 them sealing instead. Tamari walked into the yard with bags in her hand. Where are my favorite nieces and nephew? She asked. Auntie Mari. They all yelled and ran to hug her. She pulled them all up in one giant blonde, black, and red-haired hug and kissed each of their forehead. Have you three been good and training hard? She asked. Yes, but Daddy won't teach me sealing, Minato said with a pout. Daddy said we have to be older to learn it, Kushina said. She is right. You have to be older to learn sealing, Tamari said. Hinata and Kiki walked up to them. Hey Tamari, what's in the bag? Hinata asked. New clothes. The ones they wear now is to normal. Now I know that's all they have in tea country, so I brought you some from Suna. I think you will approve, Tamari said. Hinata looked into the bags with Kiki. Why do everything looks like what their grandparents wore? Kiri asked. They already look like them and named after them. Why not finish it and have them dress like them? Besides, it will be so funny when they go back looking exactly like Minato, Kushina, and Irie, Tamari said. I guess, you three want to put on your new clothes? Hinata asked. Yes, mommy, the twins answered. Yes, auntie, Minato answered. Naruto came home and froze wide-eyed at the three. Wow, they almost gave me a heart attack, he said. Hinata and Kiki rolled their eyes. Naru-kun, you're too young to have a heart attack, but they do look exactly like them, Hinata said. Tamari looked at her fellow blonde 16-year-old. You know Naruto Gaara became Kazekage, she said. Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu was sitting in their secret meeting place all puzzled at the latest events that happened. None knew what to say. How is it possible to block every move we make, before we even attempt to make them? Danzo asked. I don't know. Maybe she is getting advice from Jiraiya, Homura said. Impossible. I have Root spying on him, Danzo said. Then they are not doing a good job, Kaharu said. What, you doubt my Root? The same group that have been doing your bidding for the last 17 years, Danzo asked. All I'm saying is I saw Jiraiya talking to Tsunade when I walked past her office, Kaharu said. What? I got the report that he was in Kiri, Danzo said, getting up and walking out of the hiding spot. Kaharu and Homura followed. They walked all the way to the Hokage's office and threw the door open. Jiraiya, Kurenai, Anko, Makoto, Yugo, Yamato, Hiyashi, Tsume, Shibi, Shikaku, Inoichi, Shuza, and a very pissed off Tsunade looked at them. You three past dead bastards better have a damn good reason for interrupting a meeting you assholes wasn't invited to, Tsunade said. Danzo pointed at Jiraiya. Impossible, you're supposed to be in Kire. My spies are never wrong, he said in shock. As you can see, I'm right here, so they are wrong as wrong can be, Jiraiya said. Spies? What spies, Danzo? You was supposed to dismantle Root and any other organization you have years ago, Tsunade asked. Spies? Did I say spies? What I meant was associates, people looking for potential trouble. Yes, that's it. They are just associates, only Chunin level, Danzo said nervously and shut the door. Once they was gone, Tsunade smirked. Good work, Shizune, she said to her apprentice once she was sure they was out of earshot. Shizune transformed back into herself. Why, thank you, she said. Is that enough information for you to approve of my search and destroy request? Tsunade asked the clan heads. It's enough for me, Hiyashi said. I can't believe they was confused by a simple transformation jutsu, Tsume said. That's what happened when you cheat your death, Tsunade said. What exactly is Jiraiya doing in Kiri? Inoichi asked. No clue. You know how the pervert is, blows to his own untuned flute, Tsunade said. I say we try and get more out of them, just in case they try and go to the daimyo for support, Shikaku said. Okay, Yamato continued to spy on them. Every time you hear something, report to me or you go immediately. Everyone but Yugo, Kurenai, Makoto, Anko, and Shizune can leave. Once they was gone, Tsunade turned to them. First off, I would like to say, Makoto, you're a grandmother of twins named Von and Briss Uchiha, she said. Makoto beamed. When do I get to see them? Which of my sons are they? Where are they? How old are they? She continued to shoot off questions. Makoto calmed down. They are Itachi's and a woman named Kirei, someone he saved once. They are 5, and I have Kakashi and Guy going to get Kirei and the twins as we speak, Tsunade said. Itachi, ain't he a wanted criminal? Anko asked. Well, about that, he technically is wanted, but he did what he did to save a lot of people. It is now Makoto's decision to tell you or not, Tsunade said. Will you promise not to tell anyone? Makoto asked. We promise, Anko and Kurenai said. Well, the day that part of the clan was killed, Itachi came up with a plan that involved spying on both Orochimaru, for obvious reasons, and Akatsuki because they are killing Jinchuriki to collect Biju. The two who was able to do it without suspicion was Itachi and Sasuke, Makoto said. Well, that explains a lot, but what about Sakura? Kurenai asked. Sasuke wanted to bring a friend and personally asked for her, Tsunade said. So why haven't they been found? I mean, it ain't that hard to find someone with pink hair, Anko asked. Because I always gave wrong information because this mission is too important to let them be found. Too many secrets would get out, putting all 3 of them in danger, Tsunade said. Is this why you sent Naru-chan to Tea Country? Kurenai asked. No, you're the second person to ask me that. It just happened that way. I honestly didn't know him going to tea would work in our favor for this mission, Tsunade said. How does it work in our favor? Anko asked. Because they have strict orders not to reveal that they are ninjas or from Konoha, and the only people who know that they are in tea are the people they told, which are their friends, Tsunade said. So this way they can't be found by Akatsuki, and if they find out where he is, then we know one of his friends betrayed us, Shizune said. Exactly, Tsunade said. I still don't know who is luckier, Naruto or you, Tsunade, Makoto said. What do you mean? Tsunade asked. Well, Naruto escaped a group of S-class ninjas without even knowing it, and you are one wrong move from this entire thing falling apart and being labeled a traitor of Konohagakure and being executed, Makoto explained. Tsunade thought about it. I never thought about it that way. Oh well, as long as the missions are done within the next 2 years, we have nothing to worry about, especially if they end up with Orochimaru and or Akatsuki dead, she said. Do you think Sasuke can kill him? Yugo asked. He won't teach him enough to kill him. The only chance of him dying is by someone who can already kill him. Hopefully it's Itachi. This way when Sasuke come back, I can clear him of being a traitor and sent to jail, because it would have been a S-class mission. If anyone else kill him, then it will be harder to prove, Tsunade said. Orochimaru was sitting in his room. Kabuto, it's time to change my body, he said. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. Want me to get a new one ready? Kabuto asked. No, I'm going to use Sasuke's body. It's strong enough to handle my spirit now, Orochimaru said. Can you do it without the curse seal on him? Kabuto asked. Yes. Orochimaru then got up and shunshined away. He appeared in Sasuke's room and got ready to take over his body. When Sasuke woke up, you finally came to try and take my body, but too bad I'm not giving it up, Sasuke said, activating his Sharingan. Orochimaru jumped at Sasuke and tried to take his soul, but his Sharingan spent and trapped him within his eyes. Sasuke dropped in pain as Sakura came running into the room. Sasuke-kun, what happened? I felt a spike in chakra, she said, pulling him off the ground and on his bed. We have to go. I need to find Itachi now, he just said. What, why now? It's the middle of the night, and Raiden ain't ready to travel, Sakura said. I know, Saku-chan, but this is important. After we find him we can go back to Konoha, Sasuke said. You promise we can go back? Sakura asked. Yes, it's the only place I want to raise my son, Sasuke said. Okay, I'll get packed, and let Toshiro know. You know she will follow us if I don't bring her now, Sakura said. Fine, just hurry up. I'll get Raiden. Go pack and get Toshiro, Sasuke said while starting to pack his stuff. The three was running from Sound towards River Country, which was where Itachi said he would be waiting for Sasuke this month. They traveled for a few days with Sasuke carrying Raiden and moving faster than Sakura and Toshiro could keep up with. Sasuke, slow down, I can't keep up with you, Sakura yelled in frustration. Sorry Saku-chan, but I need to get there within the next 2 days or Itachi will be gone, Sasuke said. Here, give me Raiden and go ahead since it's so important and you won't tell me, Sakura said. Sorry Saku-chan, I will tell you everything after I see Itachi, Sasuke said, kissing her and giving her their sleeping 3-year-old. I know you will. Be careful my love, Sakura said. I will. Sasuke then took off faster than he was moving before. Honestly, how is he so much faster than me? We trained together for heaven's sake, Sakura asked. He is naturally faster than you. You would need years of intense speed training to keep up with him, Toshiro said. Sasuke arrived at the appointed place the next day and saw Itachi waiting for him. You finally captured him, Sasuke, Itachi asked. Well, you just get him out of me. I can feel him breaking the seal I used to seal him in my Sharingan, Sasuke said. Fine, but it will be painful, Itachi said. I don't care, just make it quick, Sasuke said. Itachi vanished and slammed Sasuke into the back wall, looking at him with his Mangekyo Sharingan. He reached within Sasuke with his eyes and forced Orochimaru out. Susanoo, a giant warrior with a sword and shield, formed around Itachi and cut Orochimaru with his Totsuka sword, sealing him away forever. Itachi ended the technique and looked Sasuke in the eyes. Once he let Sasuke go, both their eyes was bleeding black blood. What did you do to me? Sasuke asked. I gave you the Mangekyo Sharingan. It will look like mine until it takes on its own shape. You still will have the side effects though, which is every time you use it you will go blind, so don't use it unless you have to, Itachi said. Why did you do that? Sasuke asked. You will know why. Until a certain point you won't be able to activate it, Itachi said, then vanished. Sasuke tried to activate it and found out he couldn't. Damn it, I wonder what I need to do to activate it, he said to no one. He then felt the effects of what happened and was getting weaker from the strain. I need to find Saku-chan, he said, and walked out the building, surprised to find Sakura waiting with Raiden playing near her. Tsunade was reading the report from Itachi and couldn't help but smile. Shizune, get Makoto in here now, she yelled. A few minutes later, Makoto, Kirei, and the twins was in the office. Makoto, I have good news, she said. What's that? Makoto asked. Sasuke can come home now. Itachi sealed Orochi Tem in Susanoo. According to this, he should be here within the month. He just needs to heal from the effects of the jutsu he used to force Orochi Tem out of Sasuke's Sharingan seal, and from Itachi giving him the Mangekyo Sharingan, Tsunade said with a smile. What, really? I can't wait. I miss my baby so much. You hear that, Vaughn and Briss? You get to see your uncle, Makoto said, excited about her son coming home. Danzo was pacing around the hideout they was in. There is no possibly move for us to make, he finally said. And there is a rumor that Sasuke killed Orochimaru, Kaharu said. Our best bet would be joining with what's left with Sound and attack the village, Homura said. That may work. With Root and the Sound army we should be able to take over Konoha, Danzo said, looking at them. When do we attack? I would suggest within the month so nothing can avert our attack, Homura said. We will. I'll send word to Kabuto to have the Sound army attack outside Konoha while we attack inside Konoha, Danzo said. Yamato was in the Hokage's office. Those three are planning one last move. They are going to do a joint attack with what's left of Sound within the month, he said. Tsunade nodded while thinking. I figured they would do something like this. Warn everyone who you know is still loyal to the village to be ready for an attack at any moment, but don't make any obvious moves, she said. What of Jiraiya-sama? He would want to be here to fight Danzo himself after everything he put him through, Yamato said. I'll take care of that, Tsunade said. Naruto was laying on the couch watching the three kids play in the living room when Kiki and Hinata walked in. Get packed, we can finally go home, Kiki said. Really, I can wait to see cousins, he said. I know you can't. We can't wait to see everyone either. Now get packed, it will take at least a month to get back because they are going to want to see everything we pass, Hinata said. Sound's army was just above Konoha, poised to attack when Root ran out from the middle of the village attacking all the ninjas that was loyal to Tsunade. The clans and ninjas was ready and got on the retaliation as soon as they started the attack. Kabuto gave the signal and Sound ran down towards Konohagakure Gate. Kabuto summoned Manda, who broke the wall and was leading the way into the village. No one in Sound noticed that there was not one civilian within the village's walls, and none cared to notice it. Tsunade stood atop the Hokage's tower with Jiraiya as they watched everything happening. You came back just in time, pervert. Ready to send those bastards to Mina-chan and Kushi-chan so they can kick their asses for all eternity? Tsunade asked. I thought you would never ask, Jiraiya said. Tsunade flicked the tip of her hat and it fell behind her and stayed there by the string that was around her neck. Let's fix our village, Jiraiya, she said, and they jumped down, taking out anyone who got in their way as they made their way towards Danzo's hideout. Kurenai, Anko, Yugo, and Makoto all stayed together and was killing people left and right, each kunoichi taking out 2 sound nins at a time. Shizune had already had every medic in the village, including Kirei, stationed at different parts of the village, ready to care for all injured as quickly as possible so they can get back to the fight. Kakashi and Guy was having their usual competition of who can kill the most. The only difference was that Asuma joined in on it. Hanabi led a Hyuga squad. Even though she was technically an academy student, she was still skilled enough for Hiashi to let her fight. Neji, Tenten, and Lee was together fighting. Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji would be found using their teamwork and clan jutsus together in such a way that their otusans would be jealous. Speaking of them, they was working together as only experience can let them. Kiba, Shino, and Sai, who was scared more of making Tayuya mad than Danzo and started to feel different about making friends, was fighting a group of Sound nins. Tayuya and Kin was working together. Sound's army was larger than Tsunade expected, though. They was easily 3/4 of what Konoha's army was, and with Root helping Sound they was able to get the upper hand. Sakura, Sasuke with Raiden on his back, and Toshiro arrived and saw the village being attacked. Toshiro, keep Raiden safe, me and Sakura have to help our home, Sasuke said, giving her the 3-year-old. Okay, come on Raiden, let's go somewhere safe while mommy and daddy help the village, she said, running away from the village. We'll send a snake and slug for you, Sasuke yelled. Naruto with Kushina, Hinata with Irie, and Kiki with Minato stopped at the village in shock. We have to help, Naruto said. I know, hold on, Kiki said. She waved her hand and 3 kitsunes appeared. Watch the kids, keep them safe. If any harm come to them, it's your life, she said. Yes, Lady Kiki, the 3 kitsunes said. They ran off towards the village and was surprised when they saw Sasuke and Sakura running towards the village. They nodded to each other and sped up. Well, Naruto and Sasuke sped up. Hinata and Sakura couldn't keep up with the two, and Kiki sealed her true speed off so her speed matched Hinata's, for what she didn't remember, and it pissed her off now because she didn't have time to unseal it. Sasuke and Naruto each had their weapon in hand. They didn't even run around to the nearest opening in the wall, they just jumped right on top of it. The nearby ninjas looked up and the Konoha ninjas smiled, while the Sound and Root seemed even more pissed by their arrival. Sasuke and Naruto both stuck their katana and rod in the awl and pulled out their hitai and tied them on their forehead. Ready, Tem? Naruto asked. I was born ready, Dobi. I just hope you can keep up, Sasuke said. You're on, Tem. Don't be mad when I kill more than you, Naruto said. Like that will happen, Dobi, Sasuke said. They grabbed their weapon and they was immediately surrounded by Fuden and Raiden element. They ran down the wall at full speed, killing all Root and Sound nins in their way. They eventually was surrounded by a group of Sound and Root. Naruto smirked. Look, the Root finally got the balls to attack our home, he said. Sasuke also smirked. I'm glad they waited until I came back to attack, he said. The nins attacked them. Naruto and Sasuke became a tornado of lighting and wind blurs around each other while they killed all who was around them. Sakura, Hinata, and Kiki jumped on the wall also. They already had their hitai on and weapons ready. Without even stopping, they ran down the wall and became blurs of killing kunoichi machines. Sakura flipped her ring around and Hinata jumped through it with her elbow blades spinning. They somehow ran into Hanabi and her squad of Hyugas. Although Hinata was happy her sister was safe, and Hanabi happy her sister was there, they didn't let it distract them as the 3 older kunoichis joined the group. Once they killed the Sound that was in the area, one Hyuga spoke up. Where do you want us now, Lady Hanabi? He asked. Hanabi turned to Hinata. Nichan, you take control of this squad since you outrank me, she said. They are under your control. Enough talk, we have more fighting to do, Hinata said and ran off towards where she heard the nearest fighting noise. Sakura, Kiki, Hanabi, and the Hyugas followed. Naruto saw Amanda and summoned Gamakichi. Gamakichi looked around. Hold on, you two. I need a new snake wallet, he said and jumped towards Manda. The snake wrapped itself around Gamakichi but couldn't bite him because of Gamakichi using his sword to keep his mouth away. Summoning no jutsu, Sakura yelled, summoning. Sakura, Hinata, Kiki, and Hanabi was standing on Katsu, the daughter of Katsuyu. Katsu looked around. I'm going to kill Manda and Gamakichi is not taking that chance from me. Hold on, the slug went off faster than they thought a slug she be. She reached the summon battle in short time and got Manda off of Gamakichi. Having a snake problem, Kichi, she joked. I had everything under control, Katsu, Gamakichi said. Manda scoffed. I have to deal with arguing by the gakis of that overgrown frog and snail, he said. Otosan just don't think you're worth his time, Kichi said. And Kasen don't think you're an opponent she can take serious because she always beat you, Katsu said. Kabuto, give up. You're beat, outmatched, outmanned, outsmarted, and just plain outskilled, Naruto said with his arms crossed over his chest. If you give up now you might get a chance at probation, but that's a small might, Sasuke said with his arms crossed over his chest. You think I'm beat? You know nothing. You may have led to the killing Orochimaru-sama, but I was able to get a tiny bit of his DNA and gain his power, Kabuto said. You don't get it. There is nothing he can give you that will make you match our power, Hinata said. Your time is up. We already got everything we needed from him. He was just a puppet in our Hokage's plan to rid the world of those who willingly cause trouble for others, Sakura said. Why are we still talking? Let's kill the shithead already, Kiki said. Fuden. Rasenshuriken, Chidori, Chidori, Sweden. Rasenshuriken, Kaden. Rasenshuriken, they all yelled. Everyone down below watched in amazement as they all called out their jutsus. Sasuke held the Chidori up to the sky and called down the natural lighting and sent it directly at Manda and Kabuto. Naruto and Hinata used their sage training to throw their jutsu at Manda, knowing that Kabuto was going to die one way or another. Kiki aimed at Kabuto and threw hers using the demon powers that wasn't sealed in Naruto's seal. The result was that the two was hit on a cell-destroying level from the three Rasenshurikens and obliterated by the Kirin from Sasuke and Sakura. As soon as the jutsu ended, Sakura dropped down to her knees out of chakra, thus not being able to keep Katsu in this realm. Hinata and Kiki caught her before she hit the ground and Hinata checked her. Naruto and Sasuke ran over to them. Is she okay? Naruto asked. It's a jutsu I created. I can't even use that jutsu freely and I'm a Raiden element. She isn't a Raiden element, it takes too much for her to use it, Sasuke said. What the hell was you doing teaching her that jutsu? She had enough trouble with learning Chidori, Naruto yelled at Sasuke. It's not like I had a choice. She literally demanded I teach it to her or she would leave me, Sasuke yelled back. Well, you two shut up. She don't need this unnecessary noise, she is dangerously low on chakra, Hinata yelled at the two. Hina-chan, can you transfer some of my chakra into her? Naruto asked. Yes, put your hands on top of mine, Hinata said. With the destruction of Manda and Kabuto, the Sound Army lost its morale and was defeated. Root was still trying to fight. This is pointless. Where are those three cowards? Tsunade asked. We're not telling you, a Root nin yelled. Search that place. Turn everything over if you have to, Tsunade yelled. A few miles away from Konoha. I can't believe it went that bad, Danzo fumed. Me either. Who know that those five would show up when they did, Kaharu said. It's pointless to think about it now. We can't go back, we need somewhere to go, Homura said. I think Kuma would like our serves and knowledge of Konoha's shinobi force, Danzo said. Tsunade-sama, they escaped during the fighting, the Anbu said. Tsunade nodded. That's fine for now. I'll have a bounty so big for their heads even Akatsuki will be looking for them, she said and walked towards the heroes of the battle. Welcome home, you five, I missed you all, she said. It's good to be home, Naruto said. You can't imagine how long I have been waiting to see my cousin, Sasuke said. I think we deserve no missions for a few months after spending almost 6 years away from home on an S-ranked mission, Hinata said. They was gone for 5 years and 7 months. Sasuke and Sakura was gone for 5 years and 5 months, they all are 17. Plus compensation for having to deal with Orochi-tem every freaking day, Sakura said. Kiki and Tsunade just laughed at them. It truly is great to be home, Kiki said. Now you have friends to go see, Tsunade said, shooing them off. They all walked together and found the rest of Konoha 13, plus their parents, Hanabi, Sai and Hana waiting for them. Welcome home, Kakashi said with an eye smile. What happened during your missions? Kiba asked. Are there any couples we need to know about? Ino asked, winking at Sakura, who blushed. You all have gotten very strong, which I didn't doubt would happen, Asuma said. Sakura. They all heard. They turned to see Akunoichi holding a baby. Forget something, she asked. Sakura's eyes went wide with fear as she looked at Sasuke, who was embarrassed. Well, something like that, Ino, he said. What do you mean something like that? Ino asked. That's Raiden Uchiha, he said, pointing to the 3-year-old. Huh? Everyone asked, not believing what they was hearing. Mommy, I hungry, the 3-year-old said, running up to Sakura. Sakura sat down and pulled out a scroll and unsealed some fruit that Raiden started to eat. He is me and Sasuke-kun's son, she said. Everyone looked at her in shock, well except Naruto, who was looking at Sasuke trying not to laugh. Sasuke saw the look. Don't even think about saying it, Dobi, he said. Naruto burst out laughing. Ha ha ha, that's so funny. Sasuke-kun. Wow, that's a classic, he laughed. Sasuke got a tick mark on his head. Dobi, shut up, he said. Naruto just kept laughing. Okay, I warned you. Sasuke then shot a Kaden jutsu at Naruto, which caught his on fire. He ran around trying to put it out, much to the amusement of everyone else. Finally, Hinata used a sweeten jutsu on him. Good to know you two haven't lost your brother-like friendship, Kakashi said. What, I hate Tem, Naruto said. Likewise with Dobi, Sasuke said. Everyone just rolled their eyes. Well, eye for Kakashi at them. Then 3 foxes came up carrying 3 babies. Now it was Naruto's turn to be embarrassed as everyone stared at the 3 kids. Sensei, Kakashi asked quietly. Impossible, but yet they look just like them, Kurenai said. Auntie Anbi. The 3 called and ran to Hanabi and hugged the shocked 12-year-old, knocking her down. They then let her go and ran to Hiyashi. Grandpa. They yelled, then ran to Anko, Kurenai, and Yugo. Grandma. They yelled again, hugging their legs. Everyone looked at the blushing Hinata and highly embarrassed Naruto, and the amused-looking Kiki. Explain now, Kurenai, Yugo, Anko, and Hiyashi said. Well, you see, was all Naruto could say before he fainted. Hinata followed, not able to get much more out. I have another grandson, Makoto yelled out of nowhere, grabbing Raiden and hugging him, who to her surprise hugged her back like he knew her. Kiki, Kurenai said. You see, when Hina asked Hanabi to ask Hiyashi if she could date Naru-kun, it was mainly to stop other people from asking her out in tea country because she was waiting to marry Naru-kun. Naru-kun agreed to do this because Hina never had any privacy with everyone following her. So eventually Naru-kun and Hina started to grow closer together, and well, on Hina's birthday she asked Naru-kun to have with her. Of course she used a no pregnancy jutsu, but even those ain't perfect, and eventually she gave birth to the twins, Kushi-chan and Iri-chan. 2 months later I gave birth to Mina-chan. All 3 are Naru-kun kids, she explained easily. You had with Naru-chan? Kurenai asked. Kiki shrugged. He already did it with Hina. I didn't see a problem with it. It's her who took his virginity, not me, she said. He had with my daughter, Hiyashi yelled. Calm down, Hiyashi. They already came to an agreement, with of course the 4 parents' permission. Naru-kun and Hina will marry and he will take the name Hyuga, making him Naruto Uzumaki Yuahi Hyuga, and move into the Hyuga compound so Hina can still take her place as clan head, Kiki said. What about them? Anko asked. They already have the name. They are Kushina Azuki Mitarashi Uzumaki Yuahi Hyuga, Iri Azuki Mitarashi Uzumaki Yuahi Hyuga, and Minato Azuki Mitarashi Uzumaki Yuahi Hyuga. I named him that since I don't have a last name, Kiki said. They really thought this through, didn't they? Yugo asked. Yup, but they was wondering why Kushi-chan didn't look like Hinata also, since her and Iri are twins, Kiki said. She looks like Kushina, Naruto's cousin, Tsunade said, joining them. Also, I have to say I'm impressed that they thought this through all the way. It's a win-win situation, she said. A root member was able to escape Konoha and caught up to the three elders. Danzo-sama, I'm afraid no one survived, he said. I expected as much. What information can you give us? Danzo asked. Well, Sasuke has a son and Naruto has 3 daughters, the root member said. Danzo smiled. This is great, he said. 2 days later, Tsunade was able to get the village back under control. She had every ninja helping to rebuild the village. She also had new bingo books being made with a bounty of Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu at 50,000 each dead and 100,000 each alive. Jiraiya was mad that Danzo had escaped, but he could live with that since now the village was on track to become what it was before those 3 became the elders. Hanabi at the moment was at the park with her nieces and nephew. As Hinata predicted, she spoiled them whenever she could, always giving them candy, toys, and taking their sides when they got into trouble with anyone, effectively getting them out of trouble because no one in the Hyuga clan would dare disagree with Hanabi on fear that she would punish them. Naruto had no problem with it since they had what he didn't growing up for the first 5 years of his life, but Hinata and Kiki did have a problem with it and both threatened to stop her from seeing them so much if she kept spoiling them. Hanabi agreed to cool down on the candy and getting them out of trouble, but that didn't mean she didn't spoil them in other ways, like lots of toys and clothes. She was happier than she could remember. She always wanted a little brother or sister, but this was just as good. The 12-year-old was watching them when the Konohamaru Corps came up. Hey Hanabi, who are the 3 brats? Konohamaru asked. Hanabi got defensive and punched him with a Jiyuken punch meant to hurt him and not close his chakra points. Call my nieces and nephew a brat again and I'll make sure you never have kids, she said. They are so cute, Moegi said. They are the best. I love them so much, Hanabi said. Auntie Anbi, who are them? Asked the 3-year-old Minato looking at Moegi. Well, this is my best friend Moegi, that is her idiot friend Konohamaru, and that's Udon, he is the smartest kid in our class, Hanabi said. He is so cute, Moegi said, picking him up and hugging him. Konohamaru looked at him and turned his nose up. He is nothing special, he said. Is Konohamaru jealous of that Mina-chan gets a hug from Moegi and he doesn't? Hanabi asked. Shut up, you stupid Hyuga, Konohamaru said. So Hanabi, when was you going to introduce me to this cutie? You tried to hog him to yourself, Moegi said. He is my nephew. Kushi-chan and Iri-chan, come here, Hanabi said. Yes, Auntie Anbi, the twin said, running over and latching on her leg. This is my best friend Moegi and her 2 friends Konohamaru and Udon, Hanabi said. Hi, I'm Iri, the black-haired twin said. Hi, I'm Kushina, the red-haired twin said. Why are you the 2 cutest little girls I have ever seen, Moegi said. How many little kids have you seen, Moegi? We were the youngest in the village until now, Konohamaru said. It was a figure of speech, Konohamaru, Moegi said. Oh, was all the boy said. Well, why don't we? Hanabi stopped and looked around. Byakugan, Iri, Kushina, and Minato, get behind me, she said in her now commander voice. Moegi, Konohamaru, and Udon became alert immediately. What's wrong, Hanabi? Moegi asked. I'm not sure, but someone is here who shouldn't be here, the Hyuga replied. Hinata was in a meeting with Hiashi, Naruto, Kiki, Tsunade, Yugo, Kurenai, Anko, Neji, and the clan elders to go over when they would have the wedding for herself and Naruto. It was already agreed that Hinata would marry Naruto before Kiki since she needed to be so she can take the head of clan position. At the moment Hinata was up trying to get her point why this would be best for the clan. If you would just think about this, then you will see how this is the best solution for everyone, and if not me, then please tell us who should become clan head, she asked in her political voice she developed in Tea Country. Well, I propose that one of our kids become clan head, or Hanabi, an elder said. That can't happen. It would for one take too long to train them for the position. 2 all of your kids are already sealed. 3 Hinata is more prepared for the position than I was when I took it with her last mission in Tea, Hiashi said. Explain how that helps her in the Hyuga clan, the elder said. Well, for one, I know how to make treaties that most people can't. 2 I realize that as long as you are what most people would call a pure beauty, you can get almost anyone. Especially a male, to agree with you. 3 I now know how to work with other countries when trying to make treaties. 4 I made the treaty between Konoha and Tea Country, so I know more about making a treaty with Konoha which will enhance my ability to market Konoha to other potential allies. 5. Have any of you ever even wrote a treaty that was used by the head of a village or country? I for one have wrote a total of 10 that was used by T country, Hinata said. That may be true, but you lost your position when you had a child out of wedlock, the elder said. For one, you will not refer to my children as if they are one person. 2. It wasn't out of wedlock because I have every intent to marry Naruto their father. And 3. Nowhere in the Hyuga laws does it say that a clan heir loses their position for having a kid before they get married, as my grandfather had his kids before he was married, Hinata said. I agree. I think someone who has experience dealing with treaties in other countries would be what we need, and no one is better than Hinata, Neji said. Thank you, Neji, Hinata said. No problem. The entire branch family likes you and supports you, he told her. Enough. The council have already decided, the elder said. This council have no power over who the clan head chooses to be there. Hinata stopped and abruptly stood up. Hinata, what's wrong? Hiashi asked. Hinata jumped over the table and ran towards the door. Byakugan, she yelled, running out the room. Everyone looked confused. Then Naruto, Kiki, Hiashi, Neji, Tsunade, Yugo, Kurenai, and Anko all followed her out, with Hiashi and Neji activating their Byakugan. Hinata ran full speed towards the park and jumped in front of Hanabi, who was trying to protect the 3 kids with Moegi, Udon, and Konohamaru, blocking a kunai with one of her elbow knives and killing the shinobi with her other one. She spent a round facing the rest of the group. Who are you and what do you want? Speak now or I'll kill you where you stand, she said. The shinobis looked at her. You and what army? One of them asked. This army, Naruto and Neji said, appearing on either side of Hinata along with everyone else all ready to attack at a moment's notice. Like I said, state your reason for attacking my family or die where you stand, Hinata said. Damn it, Yugito, we need your help, one of the shinobi said to a kunoichi who was sitting next to a tree looking extremely tired. I can't, she said. What, you have your orders, the shinobi said. Yes, I also have a group of S-ranked shinobis after my life everywhere I turn, so when you become a Jinchuriki, get treated like shit. And have Akatsuki after you. Just killed 2 of them, then sent on this dumb kidnapping mission without even an hour's of rest, even after I stated that trying to get those kids would be not only dangerous but stupid because Kiki herself is the lady of all Biju. Yet your warning was ignored, then come ask me for my help. Now leave me alone before I kill you myself, the kunoichi named Yugito said and closed her eyes. You trying to kidnap my kids, I'll kill you all, Naruto, Kiki, and Hinata yelled. Hanabi and Moegi covered the 3 kids' eyes as their parents completely ripped apart the shinobi. Blood was everywhere. Moegi and Hanabi tried to hold down their lunch from what they saw but couldn't. Yugito peeped, her eyes opened and shook her head, told them it was suicide to do this damn mission, she said, getting up ready to defend herself. Yugito, was it? I need answers and I need them now. First off, who ordered this mission? How did they know about them having kids? And do you have any useful information on Akatsuki so we can prepare for when they come after Naruto? Tsunade said before anyone could attack her. The Raikage, Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu. I'm sure you know those 3 since you have a high price on their heads. They are collecting Biju to use their power to make the world a safer place with no fighting. And the members I killed are Deidara and Sasori, Yugito answered in order, showing the heads of the 2 Akatsuki members. Do you want protection from Akatsuki? Tsunade asked. I can't say I will turn this protection down. I can't keep fighting like this with no rest, but I won't do nothing that I think is unmoral, Yugito said. And kidnapping my kids is moral? Hinata asked, ready to attack her. I haven't even attempted to kidnap those kids. I only came here because I know Akatsuki won't come here until they have the other Biju and I needed the rest, Yugito said. So would you join our village? Tsunade said. What's the catch? Yugito asked. I need information on Kumo. Why are they willing to look over the bounty on those 3 to risk war? Tsunade said. Yugito pointed to Hinata. It's all because of her. She caused a civil war in Kumo. She caused all the bloodlines they stole to have confidence to stand up for themselves. She is the reason the Sandaime Raikage was killed. Not that the Godime is any better. Because you killed a top Junin all those years ago. Everyone in Kumo who was born at the time hates Konoha and will do anything to beat you, she said, looking at Hinata. Wow, you started a civil war in a country you never been in. Awesome, Naruto said, hugging Hinata. Naruto, this is nothing to be happy about. They are working with Danzo who knows what they will do, Tsunade said. Well, as much as it is nice to hear about this, I still have a problem with the future clan head to settle, Hiashi said. You're right, Yugito, you stay with me until we get to the office so I can set your regulations. Don't try nothing or you will end up in prison, Tsunade said. Damn it, all I wanted to do was sleep, she mumbled and followed them. They all arrived back in the Hyuga's meeting room. Sorry about that, now we can settle this once and for all, Hiashi said. Settle what? Hanabi asked. They are trying to prevent Hinata from becoming clan heir, Neji said. How can they do that? She is the clan heir. They whined when they thought she wasn't strong enough. Now that she has proved to be one of the strongest in the village, what do they have to complain about? Hanabi asked. They think me having the twins make me unfit for the position, Hinata said. If I may. Yugito spoke up. Sure, go ahead, Hinata said. I think this entire thing is stupid. She is the reason that Kumo is not as strong as it once was. She single-handedly destroyed half of Kumo's army without taking one step in Kumo, Yugito said. We don't need input from a foreign kunoichi, the elders said. Maybe not, but you need input from someone because I don't even know him and I can tell he is the son of the Yondaime Hokage and I'm only guessing, but almost every clan would be willing to have him marry into their clan. Yet you are trying to prevent it because he has kids with her before they was married, Yugito said. Hinata smiled. I agree with her, although I didn't want to use the Yondaime argument because that's a stupid reason to marry him, she said. Yes it is, and know that all the clan heads except Fugaku knew he was the Minato's son, Hiashi said. You knew that and didn't try and take him in, one elder yelled. What difference would that have made? You all saw him as the Kyuubi brat, Hiashi asked. A lot of difference, he said. Mommy, I'm hungry, Kushina yelled. And bored, Irie said. And thirsty, Minato said, breaking up the tension in the room and possible saving the lives of the Hyuga elders. Come on you three, let's go get something to eat, Hinata said, storming away from the elders. Hinata, if you leave this meeting you will lose all chances at becoming clan head, an elder yelled. This is getting old. Look, you have two choices: accept Hinata as the clan heir or don't accept her as clan heir, and she will have the option of leaving the Hyuga clan and moving in with Naruto and his cousins, changing her name from Hyuga to Yua. He now chose, Tsunade spoke up. What, you can't do that, an elder yelled. I just did. Now chose before I chose for you, damn it, Tsunade said, breaking the desk that separated her from the elders. Okay, she can stay the heir of the clan, but we get to seal. The elder was cut off by a few snakes, toads, and kitsunes. Finish that statement and you will die, Kiki, Hinata, and Naruto said. Well, looks like our business here is done. Naruto, Hinata, and Kiki, I expect an invite to the marriage soon. Yugito, come with me to my office so we can talk, Tsunade said, walking out the room. Hiashi stopped Tsunade before she left. You know they are going to do everything they can to remove her from that position. You should have made them promise the clan head position instead of clan heir, he said. Tsunade just smiled. I have a plan that will make her too powerful to do anything but give her the position, and without forcing them to just send her to me sometime later and alone, she said, and left. Hinata led everyone else to the kitchen. I'll make something to eat, she said, putting Irie in her baby chair while Naruto and Kiki did the same. Hanabi came in the room with a bag of candy she bought and was about to give the three some. Hanabi, Nichan, don't give them candy before they eat, Hinata said, looking in the refrigerator. Why not? You did it when I was a baby, Hanabi pointed out. You was 5 inches, Hinata said. So you still gave me candy before I ate, Hanabi said. I also wasn't a certified medic then, Hinata said. Like that is much different, Hanabi said. Fine, just one piece, Hinata said, knowing she wasn't going to win this argument. Hanabi gave them a piece of candy and sat it on the table. Moegi, make sure no one eats my candy. She then went to help Hinata. So Nichan, you promised to teach me how to cook, she said. Hinata looked at her. You remember that? She asked. Of course I do. It was one of the few things we could do together before the idiot elders came and demanded I go train, Hanabi said. Well, now that I'm the clan head I need a new council, Hinata said. Well, look no further, Nichan, I'm here to help, Hanabi said. Hold on, you two. Hinata's not the head just yet, Hiashi said from the kitchen door. Otosan, are you going to eat with us? Hinata asked. No, I'll let you kids have your fun. Just came to let you know that Tsunade wants you in her office sometime today alone, Hinata, Hiyashi said walking away. See you at home Naru-chan, Kurenai said hugging the kids and leaving. Anko and Yugo did the same thing and left. Hinata walked into the Hokage's office. You wanted to see me? She asked. Yes, Hinata. I realize that without actually forcing them the council will try to put someone else as the clan head, Tsunade said. Yes, I realize that, but no one else is as ready for the position than I am, Hinata said. I know that, but I have an idea if you're interested, Tsunade said. Okay, what's the idea? Hinata asked curious. You're going to be my successor, Tsunade said. Hinata was floored. Your successor, she repeated. Yup. I want you as the Rokudime, Tsunade said. But what about Naru-kun? He has been after that position since I can remember, Hinata asked. I know, I actually thought about it, but with the reports from your last mission it came to my attention that Naruto isn't the right person to lead a village. He may be a great shinobi but he can't handle the political stuff that's involved with being Hokage, Tsunade said. Oh, so you think I'm the best person for it? Hinata asked. Yup. You're one of the strongest people in the village. You have connections with other small villages. You led Michi's campaign, and most importantly you have an ability to get people to trust you, Tsunade said. Okay, I'll think about it, Hinata said. Good. Now as part of your Hokage training you need to lead a genin team, but there isn't enough genins to give you a team, so you're going to be a joint sensei. Also come here every day after team training so I can train you in everything you need to know about being a Hokage. Also don't tell anyone, I want this to be a surprise, Tsunade said. Hinata just nodded and left still in shock. Gaara, Temari, Matsuri, and Kankuro arrived to Konoha's gate. Well, time to find my favorite nieces and nephew, Temari said. They are your only ones and they aren't even really related to you, Kankuro said. That's why you will never find a girlfriend, Kankuro. You're too negative. Just because you don't wear that makeup don't mean girls will like you, Matsuri said. Just be careful, Matsuri. And Kankuro, I don't want a repeat of what happened in tea last year, Gaara said. I know already, Gaara. Matsuri and Temari have been helping me with my people skills, Kankuro said walking away. Come on Matsuri, you're going to love them, they are so cute, especially Mina-chan, he is going to be a ladies' magnet when he gets older, Temari said grabbing the younger girl's hand and walking away. Are you going to see Shikamaru also? Matsuri asked. I can find him easily when I want to see him, Temari said. The two Junins walked through Konoha looking for any signs of Hinata or Kiki and the kids. As they got closer to the shopping district they saw Ino coming out of a shop with Sakura. Temari, Matsuri, how are you two? Ino asked. We are great, Temari answered. What brings you two here? Ino asked. I want to show Matsuri the oh so cute Mina-chan, Kushi-chan, and Irie-chan, Temari said. I haven't seen them today, but did you meet Sakura's son Raiden? Ino asked. I wasn't aware Sakura had a son, Temari said. Yay, had him on a mission with Sasu-kun, he is my little prince, Sakura said. Auntie Anbi potty. They heard a little boy's voice. Potty Auntie Anbi, it said again. Okay, come on you three. Hanabi picked the three up and ran towards the nearest store. As she turned the corner she saw Ino, Sakura, Temari, and Matsuri. Hi, in a rush, she said running into the clothing store. Everyone just looked at her retreating figure. Soon she came out with the three kids. Sorry Mina-chan had to go, she said. Auntie Mari. The three yelled hugging her leg. Hello you three, have you been good? She asked. We are always good, they said with a halo above their heads. How is it that kids can always look so innocent? Sakura asked. No clue, Hanabi said. They are so cute, Matsuri said. I'm trying to convince Choji that we should have a child, but he don't think he is ready, Ino said. Hanabi, Moegi, Konohamaru, and Udon was waiting to be put on a team when Hinata walked in. Sorry, I'm here to substitute for Iruka today. He had an unfortunate accident, she said glaring up at Hanabi and Moegi. The two smiled at her with halos above their head. What did we do, Nichan? They both asked. Don't try that innocent thing with me, Hanabi and Moegi. You're just lucky Naruto caught you and I didn't catch you, she said. Lady Hinata, shouldn't you put us on a team? Udon asked. Right. Hinata called off the teams and looked at the last one and smiled. The last team is Hanabi, Moegi. The two cheered and hugged, Konohamaru, and Udon. She looked at them with an evil smile. Your Junin sensei is Anko and me as an assistant Junin, she said. The four genins looked at her in horror. No, this can't be possible. What is Tsunade thinking putting you as our sensei? Hanabi yelled. Don't worry Nichan, I will be a good sensei, Hinata said with a halo of her own. Moegi and Hanabi could have sworn that instead of seeing a halo they saw purple devil ears and a pointy tail. Hanabi, we are doomed, Moegi said. I know, having her as a Nichan is great until it comes to anything involving being a kunoichi, then she is the devil. I think she took after Kiki Nichan or Anko, Hanabi said. That's Anko sensei to you Hanabi, Hinata said from behind them. Hanabi walked home with Hinata in a bad mood. Nichan, why do you want to be my sensei? Ain't being my Nichan enough? Do you have to ruin this part of my life also? Hanabi asked. Trust me Hanabi, you will thank me for this. Also I have things I want to teach you and I need more time than the time we get during family training, Hinata said. Like what? Hanabi asked. You know Naru-kun signed the toad contract, right? Hinata asked. Yes, hard to miss that giant toad, Hanabi said sarcastically. Good. Well, it is a family contract and since I'm Naru-kun's wife I got to sign it. After intense talks and a lot of sake and a treaty that involves you, Gamabunta has decided to let you sign the contract so you get that in the Kitsune contract that Kiki created, Hinata told her. Really? Hanabi asked. Yup. Also I have a new style of Jiyuken to teach you. I know you created a Jiyuken style that inflicts bodily damage instead of damage to the chakra system, but I have developed a long-range Jiyuken and I want you to learn it and I want to continue Moegi medic training, Hinata said. Team Assassin. They was called that since they all signed the snake contract and Anko was training them in stealth, was standing in the Hokage's office. There is a mission for you in Wave. Hinata, I'm sure you know the client since he asked for either you or Naruto personally, Tsunade said. Tazuna walked into the room with a jug of sake. This old drunk is our client, Hinata asked. You bet I am, you little brat, Tazuna said. I'll show you a brat, Hinata said, starting to march towards him. Touch me and I'll take my mission to another village, he said. I'll take my chances with you trying your luck with another village, Hinata challenged. Really, even after I tell you about a certain someone who has been practicing for the next time you came to visit, Tazuna said. Really, well, I think we can make room in our schedule to come to Wave, Hinata said. Tazuna looked at them. So this the team I hired this time, at least they look more competent than that blonde, he said. Don't refer to my brother as that blonde. His name is Naruto, you drunk bastard, Hanabi yelled at him. You leave tomorrow morning. Moegi and Hanabi don't cause any trouble for the people of Wave, Tsunade said. Would we do that? The two asked, smiling sweetly and with halos. If you know what's good for you then no, Tsunade answered.